Holmes is in New York. Do you want to know where he is? If you want to know where he is, I'll tell you where he is. But he wants to surrender. He's here to surrender. They didn't want him to surrender because if he surrenders, they don't get to the judge that he's a flight risk and he's a danger. Because who, as a danger and a flight risk, would fly to New York and surrender? So they didn't want him to surrender.
So since September 5th, you had known, you expected it was likely he was going to formally face charges.
So I really knew he was formally going to face charges on March 25th, the day of the searches, when Homeland Security searched his Los Angeles home, his Miami home, and his airplane. I knew that day by looking at the search warrants. I mean, I've been doing this for a while. This is not my first or 100th rodeo. That this was going to come as a matter of time. What I realized in early September is that it was coming soon. And so it was time for Mr. Combs to come to New York, which he did. Let me just point out one very important thing. That the prosecutors are seizing on something that happened 8 years ago. You know, this video that we've all seen, and it's a bad video for Mr. Combs, and he said so himself when he gave his apology. This is 8 years ago, and the prosecutors are talking about him bribing a hotel security worker. There was no criminal investigation. This was just a matter of personal embarrassment because he and the person in the video were in the midst of a 10-year relationship. That was difficult at times. That was tough.
After today, we get back to intros. Like, you know, I need my good 30 minutes to be good. We get back to intros. And what's going to happen?
It's just nonsensical, and it's been proved to not be true.
Well, in that video, he initially denied the allegations when his then girlfriend, who was in that video, filed a lawsuit last fall. And we had that video.
Okay, real quick. Let me just reset you out. Thank y'all for kind of following in. I'm going to be honest with you. Today's stream is going to be a little bit different because I'm probably going to have to break up today's stream. I got an important meeting that I have to get to. So I'm going to do a stream now. This stream is mostly for the stream. Also, I understand some of y'all, just like how y'all were tired of the Drake shit. Some of y'all might be tired of the Diddy shit. Yes, we plan to do a regular stream. I do have regular topics. This is just a break in news type of thing. So I'm probably going to be shooting for like 2 hours now, and then I'm going to come back later on to the regular stream. Well, not regular stream, but the full length 6 hours stream, right? So if you guys don't know, Diddy's supposed to be in court 3 o'clock. His lawyer last night, after hearing in court, you know, Diddy got denied bail. His lawyer, which is Mark Agnafilo, I'm fucking up his name, but he sat with CNN. Which I'm gonna be honest with you, this is about the 4th or 5th interview I've seen Diddy's lawyer do. Is the reason why they're pretty much staking out outside the court. Looks like Diddy's lawyer, you know, he realizes this is gonna be the career maker for him, and you know, hey, he's down to talk to the press. So you know, whenever you know, we're probably gonna get maybe a press conference from the lawyer again, pending the result of that. They already set up outside the federal office, the federal court building. I think this is the Thurgood Marshall building. The federal building where the courthouse is in Manhattan, and pretty much that will be happening in actually anytime now. It should be happening around now. So we'll probably hear what the result is probably like an hour or hour and a half from now. Regardless, yeah, I wanted to play you guys this interview from Diddy's lawyer last night. Secondly, couple things has changed. You know, remember the first judge, I think I try to explain the whole court system as best as I know it to you guys pretty well. The first judge, the magistrate judge, it's like an intake judge. Like, they get all the cases for fresh indictments or charges. They look at it, of course, they can grant bail. Now, if it's some crazy shit, you kill 3 people, a lot of times they're going to say no, right? If you rob the store, they'll probably give you bail. But if they do deny a bail, you usually wait till you get to your district judge, which that's the person who's district or circuit judge, and that's the person who's going to be tied to that case and is going to have a deeper understanding of what's going on. Okay, so the district, not the district judge in this case is Andrew B, the black dude I showed you yesterday. He's about to rule today. So you're back in court, but I wanted to play you this video from the lawyer real quick, and then Diddy filed 100 pages last night to essentially add additional guarantees to the state or to the court, really, that he should be let out on bond. Some of these new stipulations say that, first of all, he starts claiming another property on Star Island, which is the adjoining property. One Star Island, he lives in two, but One Star Island is the property next to it. Remember, King Cole raps about it. They basically said that there won't be women there. There won't be, they pretty much lock it down. I still don't think that's really answering the question that the DA is getting at, or U.S. Attorney, I mean, is getting at the bond denial about. Basically, the reason why he's denied bond is not only because these charges are serious. Great, he put up a lot of money, right? But they really think this nigga's gonna be on the phone and try to coerce witnesses or threaten people. That's the hardest thing to prevent. Because Lori keeps saying the same stuff, which is, he turned himself in. Okay, he's not a flight risk, but is he gonna hit up witnesses if he's allowed in the free world? That's the biggest thing I think they gotta convince the judge. And I don't think, really, me personally, I don't think there's no way you can convince a judge that a guy with that much power and resources, who, by the way, the prosecutor has evidence that he was using other people's phones, they're not going to say, okay, we're going to just let him back out free and allow, according to the bail package, Diddy wants his workers to be able to come to the property, close family members, anybody who is in his, orbit in terms of work-wise or family-wise, and his baby mothers. Again, any prosecutor is going to say, bro, he's going to use his baby mama's phone, even if he can't use the phone. Come on, he's going to hit up witnesses, he's going to be doing all types of shit, right? So I don't know how they overcome that fact, but we're going to see today in court. Anyway, let me get back to this interview real quick. Welcome. I know some of y'all are going to be trickling on in here, but welcome.
Victims.
Yeah, I think it's 49 witnesses and one victim. I think if you broke it down, and I say that because count 2, which is the sex trafficking count, has victim number 1, and there is no victim number 2 anywhere in the indictment.
So you're saying that there are not other women, because what they were essentially arguing here is...
Obviously that's Diddy's lawyer, who's probably getting tens of millions. And shit, this is going to be pulling a rabbit out of the hat if they take it to trial. Hey, I'm going to go on his word because he's going to have more access to information than we do in the public. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'd be very shocked if this whole indictment is only about victim 1, who we all now kind of believe is Cassie. That's crazy. If it's only one victim, damn. You know what I mean? Obviously, this is why I think the lawyer's doing interviews too. He's kind of tarnished Cassie's name too. Eventually, you might go to a jury trial. You got to start putting it out there that Cassie was a whore. Cassie was cheating with the trainer. Cassie used to hit him. This is the time to, because everything we've seen so far, they already leaked their play of Diddy beating her. So they got to try to do a reverse leak. He was beating Diddy too. So, I think that's, the
not Cassie was a whore is crazy.
However, here's what I do think, personally. I think they're going to supersede this indictment. It's no way. It's no way they're going with one one victim. They're going to supersede this indictment with other people who are charged, right? I'm not saying a bunch of them, maybe 2 people, right? Co-conspirators, and they're going to list other witnesses. I think there was 2 witnesses. It just makes sense. You even listen to the Gina girl, even though obviously some of these people who, for example, the Gina girl that we were playing her video yesterday, clearly at one point she said she was a victim, but then she ran back to Diddy once the money train went, the gravy train got a little bit low. So really, who knows? Maybe these, I think a lot of these women, and this is kind of sad. I'm not saying Diddy's innocent at all, right? But I'm talking about how sometimes women who are actual victims view abuse and how they weigh it. Because if you listen to Adina, what she said, she said she was forced to get 2 abortions. She was kicked, slapped, did everything. He did everything to her. Was fucking other bitches, doing all type of stuff. She went right back to him a year later.
Right.
When he had no money. You know what I mean? So again, how, again, and I don't want to blame no victims, but, clearly you know, it's a fluid situation where they're going back to their quote unquote abuser. Here's the thing too. By the way, my voice is a lot better today. No? Thank you last night. Here's the thing too. I think a lot of these women in Diddy's past is probably like they're doing a way of check and balances if they haven't come forward already, right? They might be like, you know what? When I could just sit.
Let's just keep it real. The money dried up. So all the other ones is, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. They like, no, I ain't got no more paper. I need that paper.
This shit out. I know if he beats this shit, like he's gonna eternally owe me some loyalty. I could get what I want out of him, right? Remember he said to whoever, like one of the witnesses he was trying to, you know, coerce according to the government. He told him, yo, listen, I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. Yo, I got you. You hold it down for me. I'm gonna take care of you. So I do think some of these women who haven't been named yet or who haven't been included, they're probably playing the game of, well, if he beats it, I know he's going to look out. And
Right. If I give him my loyalty.
And some of them are looking at it to say, yo, this nigga done.
If I give him my loyalty, he going to cut me a check. That's the way them other ones looking at it.
This is also going to be a play too, chap. For everybody who's suing him on a civil level, it's going to look crazy that you're not involved in the indictment for the criminal shit, right?
Facts.
So, wait, did you not participate? Did you not cooperate with the government to get him locked up? Was you want some money? So again, I would imagine your civil case looks a lot better when you're in the criminal case. You get what I'm saying? So we're gonna see what's the deal. Who else is gonna pop out? I do think the superseding indictment is gonna come. You know, I agree with rapper.
Yeah, definitely gonna be a superseding.
What he said like yesterday. Yo, I think it's gonna come in the next week or two, right? But I do think a lot of these women or people, or who knows, maybe some of these victims happen to be men. Who knows? I think they're playing the game of, okay, should I just shut the fuck up? Because you know, I mean, this guy's still powerful, still Diddy. He'll hold me down because in reality, again, for whatever reason, maybe it's because Cassie's now at a different point in her life, and you know, obviously going through that, you know, she's sticking with her husband or whatever. Like, you know, to show, like, she gotta go hard to get that nigga locked up, right? She's
Hell
not that
yeah.
type of person. Also, you could imagine her husband looking at her like, wait, you and this dude fucking pretty nigga? No. Like, okay, cool, we'll put that nigga in jail. So she's going through with it. Some of these other people might be victims, but they might just not be on it that much to be like, oh yeah, we really gonna be, you know, you gotta imagine if you're gonna be a witness or a victim listed in this case, you're gonna have dozens of interviews with authorities. They gotta keep asking questions to make sure they don't look stupid when they get up to trial.
No.
Dozen of interviews. They're gonna have you sign sworn statement. They're gonna then put you in front of a grand jury. It's gonna be taking a toll on potential victims too, right? So it's gonna take a lot of your life. So some people might be victims to say, man, yeah, that nigga did do some shit. I do think he did some shit one time. I was fucking with him for 2 months. But I
Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the live.
If you a girl that pops out on this type of stuff, right? You pop out on this type of stuff. Like again, cool, you get paid or not get paid. Well, if you follow the civil law, so maybe you get paid. But now the industry gonna look at you like, you know how it's gonna be. Like niggas gonna be like, I ain't fucking with that girl, man. Like that's the girl who got beat down type shit. Like not that she's doing nothing wrong, but it's just like, you know, people historically and culturally don't like whistleblowers. You know what I'm saying? So
especially them rich mugs like Diddy.
Probably other victims, and I just personally think superseding indictment, 2 more conspirators, co-conspirators, and we're gonna see at least 2 more things. That's what I think. Definitely 2 more things. Yeah. What do I know? Let's listen to this lawyer. Also, by the way, damn, this is outside the court right now. We're waiting, by the way, if you don't know, we're waiting for the bail hearing. We are set up to see what's going on in the bail hearing for Diddy. This is the appeal bail hearing with District Judge Andrew Lamar Carter. It's a black brother. By the way, keep in mind, here's also the interesting thing.
So if you don't know, Diddy was denied. If you don't know, Diddy was denied bail yesterday. So, but that was with the magistrate judge. So now he's in front of the state judge, and if the state judge grants bail, then Diddy will be able to get out. But he put in I think it was 50 pages, basically explaining what he is and what he won't do if they let him out. It was a 50 million bail proposal, but they still denied it because they think that he'll be able to get on the phone to coerce witnesses and stuff like that. They ain't having it. They ain't going for it. So if you ask me, I don't think he's going to get bail today because most of these judges is friends. They know each other. They talk, all this stuff like that. And yeah, I don't think that he's going to get out. I think he's going to be sitting there through trial. I think he's at least going to sit in jail for the next 1.5, 2 years while this trial going on.
Great men or moguls go down, you know, be like, damn, Bill Cosby was just about to buy, what was he about to buy? Viacom or CBS or whatever. Well, here's the thing about this. With Diddy, well, first of all, is Cassie black? I don't know if that's black. Wait a minute. Well, supposedly she's like half black. I don't know. Anyway, Diddy, black man, the AUSA, right? The assistant U.S. attorney that is taken down is Damian Williams, a black man. And the judge that's going to be presiding over the case, a black man. There's all black people involved except for his lawyer. So Diddy, black defendant, the AUSA, black man, and also the the judge is black. Okay. By the way, so this is outside the courtroom right now. They got these guys like bomb sniffing dogs and all type of stuff. Like, you know, big deal. Little federal shit going on. All right. Back to this video.
Apologize for it.
So I wasn't his lawyer back then, so I don't, and I don't think he did. I mean, I think the lawyers were the ones mostly making the denials. I think they were denying sex crimes. I mean, because at the end of the day, the gravamen of that civil complaint wasn't a misdemeanor assault, which is what you see on that video. Not minimizing it, but it's a misdemeanor assault. But the gravamen of the complaint was sex crimes, and he denied that, and he still does.
Well, you're saying that this is all just about that one relationship, but when you read through the indictment, they say that there's not just one victim. They say there's multiple victims here today. And what I heard described was they said they have 50 witnesses or victims.
Yeah, I think it's 49 witnesses and 1 victim. I think if you broke it down, and I say that because count 2, which is the sex trafficking count, has victim number 1, and there is no victim number 2 anywhere in the indictment.
So you're saying that there are not other women because...
Why is my Twitch camera not focusing? You keep jumping in and out. Huh? What happened to audio? Hold on, y'all. Sorry.
I actually pulled some other documents from this court case.
All right, we
I
back.
to put it up on here. I believe Diddy might have waived his right for a speedy trial. Let me look. He might have waived his right for a speedy trial.
Yeah, facts. He better drag this joint out.
And the reason why that's important. Did he waive it? So this is like from the first appearance. Here we go. He's arraigned. He pled not guilty. They're gonna have a conference on 9/24. Speedy trial time. Okay, actually, it looks like he's electing for a speedy trial. Now, what that's gonna do though, and this is what I'm saying, we're listening to this attorney, which is Diddy's attorney. I'm telling you, he's getting mad. He's speaking, and unless he's like playing games with the media and us, which, I mean, obviously maybe he's not gonna reveal his whole hand, But why? This isn't a part of a strategy. This is allegations. It's would be make some sense to hide it. He claims he only knows of one victim. Again, he still doesn't have the majority of the information because he doesn't have discovery. So discovery is going to be exactly what the state has. So the elected for a speedy trial as well, he'll get discovery faster. But clearly, if we all read the indictment, looked like he doesn't have any more information than we got, at least right now. So I would imagine right after they're done with this whole thing with, is Diddy going to be locked up for this whole duration, or at least locked up to the next bail appeal hearing, or will he be free? They're going to be pushing for definite discovery that they could see, okay, who's the cooperating witnesses, who's the people who flipped, who's this. They got to know where the holes are. Then they're going to have a meeting with Diddy and be like, yo, bro, your chef was snitching the whole time. Your chef's on the witness stand. Or your chef is someone who's giving sworn statements. Bro, would you tell the chef? You get what I'm saying? But bigger than that, probably, you'll figure out if there's any other victims, right? Again, I think people are really saying, damn, if it's only one victim, why could, obviously, I guess maybe it could be done in state court because all these acts, he was bringing her from LA to New York to Florida, so obviously that's definition of like some federal shit. But a RICO based around one victim.
It's crazy work.
Well, one victim for sex trafficking, right? Obviously, Kid Cudi could potentially be a victim. By the way, they're probably going to subpoena that nigga Kid Cudi. You got to be able to understand. Anyway, I say that to say clearly, without discovery, even Diddy's lawyer doesn't know too much at this time, so he's assuming, and they didn't name the victims at all. So he's going to later talk about Cassie, but Cassie has not been named by the prosecutor, even though all the acts that they describe of victim one matches Cassie.
What they were essentially arguing here is that he coerced and forced women into sex acts by using physical force, financial pressure, emotional abuse, and narcotics for what they described as these freak-off sessions. They say that he self-described them as that.
Yeah, there's one victim in the indictment. That the charging
One
document.
victim does count, right?
No, of course, but I'm just saying it's not 50. I mean, what they did, it's a little too cute, is it's 50 witnesses or victims. No, it's one victim. That's all that's in the indictment.
Our reporter who was in the courtroom today said that he appeared to have a stunned expression on his face. Was he surprised that he was arrested last night?
No, he definitely was not. I mean, I told him myself in early September, you are going to be arrested soon. I'm going to give you charged with racketeering
That's P.
and
Kelly.
charged with sex trafficking. So come to New York. It wasn't a long conversation. He agreed. So we knew this was coming. And in fact, we offered that he would turn himself in.
So if there are these witnesses and victims, and as you're saying that you believe it's one victim and 49 witnesses who saw this behavior, that's pretty powerful though to have that many people who have, if they go to court and argue that they witnessed this behavior by your client.
Well, no.
What's your defense against that?
So my defense is very well established. I interviewed myself with different men who were being brought sort of into Mr. Combs and this person's intimate situation. I've gone around the country. I've interviewed.
So he interviewed the men that were in the threesomes or the orgies or gangbangs, the Amtrak train that was being and apparently, this is what he was saying in court via file documents. Actually, they made the point as well while arguing across argument for bond was they were responding to the ESA. He basically said none of the men. So essentially, they're saying it like this: if Diddy was having sex with Cassie and 3 other dudes,
No.
they've talked to all the other dudes. And I don't know how many dudes. I'm guessing they got to be dozens, right? Because Diddy was a super freak, right? He was doing this over the years. They're saying they talked to all the dudes and they asked them a few questions. Did anybody look drunk up in the room? Did anybody look like they were doing it under duress? Did anybody look like they were, not consensual, not willing, being coerced? Did everybody look like they were in their right mind? And apparently all the dudes who I would imagine maybe someone got paid off, who knows? All the dudes said, everything looks straight.
Witnessed this behavior by your client.
By the way, stop screaming at my chat wife that Lucy's not dead. He's alive and well. All right, his friends has already confirmed it. Please stop the assault.
Well,
What's your
no.
defense against that?
So my defense is very well established. I interviewed myself the different men who were being brought sort of into Mr. Combs and this person's intimate situation. I've flown around the country. I've interviewed a large number of them. There's not the slightest inkling, according to the interviews that I've done, of anything that's coercive, non-consensual. Nobody was too drunk. Nobody was too high. These were adults in a relationship. This is a 10-year relationship. You can't forget that. This is a 10-year relationship. And it was adults and consensual, and everybody who was there wanted to be there. So I feel very confident in that position.
You said you interviewed the men, but what about the women?
I haven't interviewed the woman's not available to me. She's presumably a grand jury witness, and we would not. We cannot try to interview a grand jury.
You hear that subtlety right there, right? It's essentially the interviewer says, "What about the women?" Almost asking, well, in these free calls, would there be multiple women? And we're actually not getting any proof or knowledge that, or anyone even saying, no, Diddy would have multiple women in the free calls. It would just be multiple men.
Right.
Which, that I guess that's the irony. Because of all of the different changing parts in the free call, it were men, it appears, to be the interchangeable parts. And the only victim seems to be the woman who was a stagnant and a constant here. So that's kind of interesting. And so he clears it up. He's like, well, we can't talk to the woman because she's probably a witness or obviously a victim, right? Man, what kind of nigga is this, though?
And you don't think that there are any other women who are going to say that they were coerced into this, given drugs, and essentially as prosecutors were saying that that's what kept them compliant?
So there are a lot of women in these civil cases. There's been a mountain of civil cases ever since the civil case that was filed in November. I don't see them as victims in the indictment. That's my point.
And so when you talk about that video of Cassie Ventura, that was his then girlfriend, in the video, I mean, just when you saw that.
By the way, this is, and I'm sorry for pausing all the time, but y'all used to it by now with me. This is going to be a very tough sell, people. We're going to get to a Boosie setting. Clearly, for everybody who's watching, if you're tuning in, I'm not here to be, I'm not on Diddy's side. If I ever say anything that might be fair, I'm looking at this as a criminal case. That's it. Say Winder and killing his homies, allegedly. I try to give, well, maybe he didn't, maybe he did, right? This is not about like some moral, like, so y'all gotta chill with this. I'm not shooting no bill for Diddy. So again, if none of those people are involved, right, and if none of those other witnesses or victims, female victims, are involved in this indictment, it's only Cassie. I'm analyzing the strategy that this lawyer seems to. I don't know if they've planned to do this, because you gotta imagine. From what I've heard, I told you, like, I got contacted by one of the investigators that he hired. It was somehow they seen something I said on stream. You know what I'm saying? And they had a couple questions for me about that, and I was just like, they kind of, it was almost like a quid pro quo type of thing where, like, they also told me a little bit more about what's going on with Diddy's situation in terms of, it's like, yeah, Diddy has a bunch of us working investigators. Then he has civil lawyers. Then he has criminal lawyers. But it gave me like a breakdown of what his camp was like leading up to this moment, which means that it was all hands on deck, and you have all these investigators who are, making calls, trying to corroborate information, trying to figure out A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever. They must have, somehow collaborated to say, again, this guy said he told Diddy right after the race, like, yo, you're going to get indicted. They must have came up with a plan. Like, okay, well, if an indictment comes, we're going to play it this way. It's like a football strategy. I mean, not to trivialize it, but think about it, right? Now, if they seen a bunch of more victims, maybe they would have taken a different approach. the approach that I think they're about to take, because if you listen to the bail hearing, and actually I do have a transcript from the bail hearing yesterday too, because in the the appeal that they filed, the transcript there, I got it, so I'll show you then. But the strategy they're losing is kind of slut shaming Cassie.
Yep. They're gonna attack.
Cassie.
They're gonna attack the crap out of Cassie.
Violent. Basically to say, hey, we're not saying Diddy wasn't violent. Like, we saw the video. But they're saying Cassie was violent as well. They were mutually violent. And there was never any non-consensual sexual activity that went on. If any...
Well, Ack, I hear you, right? But the only thing in that situation is this here. Cassie's not on video beating the living crap out of Diddy. Diddy's on video multiple times beating the crap out of her. Cassie didn't issue an apology to Diddy on beating the crap out of him. Diddy issued a public apology to Cassie beating the crap out of her. How they gonna prove that, bro? How they gonna prove that Cassie was abusive besides other people saying it? Videos, well, I can't say videos don't lie no more because people can edit stuff. But it's right there. And Diddy confirmed that it happened. No one said Cassie was abusive. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know abuse ain't just got nothing to do with just hitting. It can be verbal. It can be mental. I don't know. But I know they're going to try to slut shame the crap out of Cassie. They definitely going to put it through the ringer. To try to make look like it was tit for tat.
Anything, the violence and anything that seemed tumultuous and toxic was because they were in a toxic relationship and would both find out about each other's infidelity. She found out that Diddy had other women. Diddy found out that she was sleeping with a trainer that booked for her.
Facts.
Right? So, I was surprised that the attorney said that in the fucking bail hearing. Right? You know what I mean? But remember, as I showed y'all, when the U.S. attorney, right? The U.S. attorney actually, Damian Williams, when he announced the indictment, the women, the AUSAs who are going to be working and prosecuting this case, they're white women.
It's six of them.
It doesn't really matter.
Look, wait, the AUSAs is crazy. They got 6 white women as the AUSAs. And one of them's pregnant. This ain't like a state trial, whereas everybody has to vote anonymously. A federal, it just got to be majority. So it can be 7-5. You know what I'm saying? 24, it can be one of the, if one of them people don't vote it still go. If that one pregnant chick have a bad day, her mood swings, her hormones high, she ain't feeling it today, them cramps kicking her ass, her spinal cord hurt, she gonna fire Diddy up.
If they're white or not, they're just women. You have about 7 women who stood there, one including pregnant.
Sure. I just said that.
Again, if these are the people who are going to be working on the case, let's just play it out in our mind. If it goes to a jury trial, if your strategy is just a slut shame, and you have a male, lawyer, and you're just slut shaming the only female victim, and she's being essentially propped up and defended by 7 female prosecutors, you know the day and age we're in. I don't know if that's a great strategy.
At all.
But you're going to see, they're kind of doubling down on strategy, because now they start talking about Cassie. And I guess this had to be a tough decision, because like whatever war chest or whatever plans they had to come to the conclusion of, so you know when we start talking to the press, the first thing they're going to say is, well, why should we ever believe you? We've seen the video. So they're attacking the video to try to give context. Oh, she was a whore. Oh, she did this. Oh, she hit Diddy first. You know what era we live in, man. a woman could damn near kill you. You slap her and it's like, right? So, and also there's no proof. There's no proof of the things that they're saying that she did to Diddy, right? But listen to the lawyer.
Been a mountain of civil cases ever since the civil case that was filed in November. I don't see them as victims in the indictment. That's my point.
And so when you talk about that video of Cassie Ventura, that was his then girlfriend, in the video, I mean, just when you saw that, you said it's a bad video. It's pretty difficult to watch.
It is, no question. So let me tell you what
Will that
happened.
be used as evidence in court, do you think?
100%. 100%. So what I said in court today, and I'll say it again here,
Yeah, doubling down.
is the two of them were in a hotel. It was just the two of them in a hotel room. She found out that he was seeing someone else. She was going through his phone. She hit him in the head with his own phone. And then she walks into the hallway with two bags. One of the bags has all of his clothing sticking from him, which is why he runs out in a towel. So this isn't her fleeing from one of these freak-offs. Why would she take his clothing?
Now, to be very fair, again, remember, trust me, this is such a, when you're being a media guy who's like breaking this, it's really hard, right? And also, I wish I was covering this with a woman right next to me, honestly, like a woman who's like very capable on the mic. Pause. Maybe does Milagros care about this? I would love to have because, and I do know I have a significant amount of chat queens who watch me. I don't want to just give you the nigga perspective, like, oh yeah, that's how a man would think. I'm trying to be as fair as possible. By the way, here's the thing too, and this goes in Cassie's favor. Well, Cassie went in her lawsuit when she said, no, that was a free call. By the way, it's hard for me to believe it's not a free call when you run out with a towel around you. It appears that you were naked if you had to put a towel around you. You get what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Maybe you got out the shower, but her story with the freak off, right? Yeah, and she said, even if she did take a bag that had his clothes, she was very adamant that this was during a freak off, right? Now, I don't know if this necessarily matters. When does the freak off start and when does it end? Because if they were just in a freak off the night before, Diddy's in the morning fucked up, and we've all been there, guys. Y'all know this. You've been there fucked up a little bit. You left your phone open. Anytime you ever got caught by your chick, y'all had a lit night, and you start looking at some shit on your phone, but you extra lit, you fall asleep, your phone open. That's kind of how it goes, right? That's when she finds it. That's when she turns up. So, again, Cassie's still considering that's the freak off. Y'all is still in the freak off. Now, the lawyer for Diddy is not going to say, oh, that was a freak off. Right? Like, clearly, they're not going to, be that dumb. Like, oh, no, we were having a freak off. But the freak off ended at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. No. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. I think Cassie has a point right here. That video is just so tough to defend, you know?
She found out that he was seeing someone else. She was going through his phone. She hit him in the head with his own phone. And then she walks into the hallway with two bags. One of the bags has all of his clothing sticking from him, which is why he runs out in a towel. So this is
Right, but why he didn't just get the bag back? Like, he could have just got the bag back and stepped off. And I don't think none of this would be going on. He probably still got hit in the head for some infidelity. But he could have just got the bag back and bounced. He ain't had to commence on clobbering shorty like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have just got the bag and kept it moving. But he went to the extreme of punching and kicking her, turned into a soccer ball. It's crazy work.
This isn't her fleeing from one of these freak-offs. Why would she take his clothing? That's not what it is. And when the evidence comes out, this is going to be completely different than the Bredman's portrayed it.
But on this video, and I just want to show that again now, how do you defend against allegations that he...
This is another reason why I think it's an interesting decision and strategy to have your lawyer Dolo out there, not only doing these press conferences. We haven't seen anything yet. No one's came out of court yet. It's very interesting to have your lawyer out there doing PR actually having to do actual lawyer work. He's doing a lot. The reason being is
Shit,
when
that bag.
now
That bag
you
different.
see in an interview, these people are well-reputed journalists that know how to get the ratings and know how to get to whatever agenda they got. These people, you know, they interview the Trumps and the Bidens and Kamalas, you know. When they just throw the video up of the Diddy thing, you almost have to show your hands in. How do you defend that in court? But here's the thing. We saw the video already. We went through those weeks and months of saying Diddy's a piece of shit. He's already found guilty in the court of public opinion. I wonder with these interviews. Wait, do you think you're gonna like rewrite that story?
Dogs. Sit
but
down.
Here's the thing: when you now present whatever you say to this question, it's almost, if the prosecutors are watching this, which they are, they know exactly how you're going to try to paint the video in court, right? So it's like, I don't know if trying to save or trying to have a PR win means you should be showing your cards. Like, whatever you're going to answer to this video, answer to it in court. We already think he's a piece of shit for the video, but answer to it in court. Now when you answer to it here, you just gave the prosecutor, you know, remember, you're the defendant counsel. You're supposed to be on defense. You're not supposed to be showing, hey, we're blitzing. Everybody's blitzing. Oh, what, y'all blitzing? I bet we stole it over the top. All right, touchdown. No. But that's kind of what is happening.
He hit, kicked, and dragged women. When he's on video hitting, kicking, and dragging a woman.
Sure, he's not charged with hitting, kicking, and dragging a woman. He's charged with sex trafficking. And he didn't traffic anybody.
But he's charged with a conspiracy here where he was using physical abuse, emotional abuse.
Just really good. I see you on YouTube. You said they're getting ahead of it now. This video has already gone through the culture, the news cycle. The only way I think this could matter is if you're possibly thinking that Diddy has such bad press, that he's such a big celebrity figure, that you think if it goes to a jury trial, it might be tainted. They've seen this video. Everybody, I would imagine, if you get 12 people who know about the name P. Diddy before they get on the stand, you're not going to get 12 people who never heard of Diddy before they get in a jury box.
Facts.
If you get 12 people, and let's say 8 of them knew who this guy was, even though I think all 12 are going to know who he is. I think of those 8, I think about 4 of them are going to be like, yeah, I seen that video on social media. Mm-hmm. So maybe that is to like trying to do some psyop to possible, you know, kind of balance out what maybe the potential jurors of this case is going to be consuming. And I get that. But still, you know, these are all things that I think, you know, you got to be trying to back down in court, not on a news station website.
Financial pressure, as prosecutors allege, to keep these women in his fold. Maybe just Cassie Ventura, but keeping these women in the fold.
Cassie Ventura lived by herself. She had her own house. She had a family. She had a career. And he was seeing another woman at the time. He wasn't around a lot. She could have done whatever she wanted to do. All of these allegations of, I was forced, I was coerced, I had to stay, are nonsense. And it's going to be proven to be so.
Ash.
That video, in the indictment, it alleges that your client paid hotel staff $50,000 to make it disappear from the hotel surveillance system. Did he pay off the hotel staff?
Not that I know of. I know that's an allegation. I don't know that is true. What I was concerned about when I heard about this allegation is whether there was an allegation that there was some sort of law enforcement investigation coming, because then that would be a crime. But there was none. And so this is not a crime.
You talked about, you said you're portraying this as adults who were at these events that wanted to be, I shouldn't even call them events. That's not certainly how anyone else would label it.
I also want to say this, and I know where I sit, and you know, being a media personality, you know, these guys are infinitely, you know, more successful or wealthier than me.
What?
I think what we've learned about in that Tory case, and I'm hoping it's not happening with Diddy, but I think, you know, for whatever reason, everything with Diddy, I keep thinking, Diddy's a billionaire. He's too big for rookie mistakes. He's too big for certain things to happen. But then I also see that he gets arrested, and then there's 2C or pink cocaine in his room, which is like, what the fuck? Anybody if you're handling that magnitude of a situation, like that would never be done. So I don't know I don't know how really structured and how much, like on a meticulous level, they're fine-tooth combing all of this, or, maybe Diddy's still leading the charge, where it's like, yo, well, I'm the boss, take that, I'm a billionaire, like, yo, y'all go march to my orders. Now, the reason why I say that is his next point. Eventually, and I'm gonna put it out now, eventually, we're gonna look back at that other law firm that dropped out of Diddy's case. And it's easy to be like, oh, well, Lady Gaga put pressure on them. Okay. But what also could be, and we've seen this before, and it's weird, I'm only bringing this up because, let me tell you, the ego of a rich, successful rapper, a lot of times, they'll go against counsel, and sometimes when, you gotta imagine, defending Diddy is a 8-figure job. It's an 8-figure payday. So multiple attorneys or law firms is like, yo, we could do it, we're gonna get you off, yo, whatever. Sometimes when you have that ego, you wanna hear the person you're gonna go with is the one who says, fuck that, we ain't taking no plea, we beating the case. I also want to say case in point, Tory Lanez. From what we heard, and we heard this later from, he had a female attorney who dropped out of his case because she felt that, number one, he wasn't fit to take the stand. They couldn't play that angle. She wanted to go about it a certain way, and Tory and his actions were contradicting how she was going to play it. And she said, well, I'm not like, hey, I defended OJ successfully. I'm not starved for bread. I've defended you for a while. I'll let this go to another attorney. She came out and said, yeah, she basically said that she advised him, yo, we shouldn't take this to trial. It won't end well. Tory hears that and says, yeah, you could get the fuck up on out of here. He gets the lawyer that says, Tory, we're going to go to trial and spank this shit. What the fuck are you talking about? You're hired, okay? Again, it's the ego. It's the ego, right? You know what I mean? You have one lawyer who's saying, it's not looking good.
Right.
We should probably go about it this route. Okay? Also, now, that person you look at and say, get the fuck on out of here. The person who agrees with you, yo, we're going to take this to trial, we're going to beat it. Matter of fact, bring the documentary cameras to the fucking verdict reading. You know that was happening, right? They brought documentary cameras to the verdict reading for Tory because there was a belief that he would be found innocent. His former counsel said we shouldn't really go to trial with this shit. It appears that she was right. Now, obviously, I believe in Tory's new counsel's opinion. They feel like, no, she wasn't right. It just wasn't defended right. Whatever you want to say it is, again, sometimes you could play to the ego of a defendant. And I'm wondering if we're going to come back to find out that that law firm that dropped out, there's two things. There's somebody who defended Diddy during early on. I think it might be Ben Brassman. He stopped defending Ben Brassman, Diddy. He did an interview, and he basically said, he declined right here. He said, listen to this.
Weinstein. You've represented a lot of...
So this is the guy who's represented Harvey Weinstein. He's represented... These are the big dogs. Ben Brassman is a lawyer, but people know him like he's a celebrity.
Interesting characters. Ben, what is your process when you get a call? I remember talking to Robert Shapiro or Ethel Bailey or Allen or some of these guys. They just like these complicated cases. What is it about these cases that ends up coming to guys like you?
Well, I think when people
in that league are in, criminal trouble. I think they want to go to someone who has experience. I don't think they want a novice. I think they want people with a proven track record. I didn't represent Harvey Weinstein at his trial. We parted company after a couple of months because he insisted on having a skirt, as he called it, to represent him. And I said, Harvey, I can do a lot of things for you, but I just don't really want to become a woman. But when a powerful person.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's the point. I don't know if you got what he said. He said, I guess Harvey Weinstein wanted him on the team as a legal mind. But here's the thing: in crimes that affect women, optically, it looks better when a woman is talking to a jury defending you rather than a man. If it's a man defending a man, you're like, oh, nigga. If it's a woman defending a man, it's like, word up.
Person is in trouble. I think they look for someone who's been around that block before, has a proven track record, and I think the most high-profile person I've ever represented was Dominic Strauss-Kahn, who had been indicted, representation. But reasons why the case had to be dropped. That story's afterwards as well.
So this guy, he represented Diddy back in the day. Hold on, that wasn't his name. That was. You come on, Diddy. Did you? And I guess he was saying that. Hold on. He said that he did talk to Diddy, and people were asking. Okay. They asked him. Okay. Here we go.
Claimed he would always brag that he did shoot and she saw it, and he would brag to other people that he did do it. He's always been famous for having a little bit of a big mouth, that he likes to brag about the kind of power he has, that he's almost like a untouchable gangster, that he can get away with anything. He's given that vibe, even when he won the deal. And then also when you represented him with the Cassie deal, within 48 hours, you guys, of what we read, $30 million that she was able to get. Did he come to you to help him out with this at all, to represent him, or you guys never had the conversation for you to represent him when he got raided? I really think that's a conversation I'd rather not have. I wish him well.
Essentially, basically said he talked to Diddy. So he defended Diddy successfully on the 1999 gun charge that he got when there was a club shooting. So he got Diddy off a case where a woman was shot in the face, and the woman even says to this day, Diddy had the gun, this guy had Diddy beat the case. So I guess, my man Patrick Davis said, why Diddy hasn't hollered at you? And he kind of skirts around and basically saying, yeah, he has, but
I saved him in 1999, and if I had not saved him, he would not have become maybe one of the most successful African-American entrepreneurs in the history of this country. And now I only wish him well. The reasons for my not being in this case at this time are part of a privileged discussion, if you will. I kind of knew you were going to say that.
Okay. So essentially, they definitely talked about it. He said a privileged discussion with his attorney-client privilege. Once again, I'm going back to the Tory thing. We're going to have to use that as an example. Sometimes counsel evaluates a case and says, hey, I don't think we should take this one to trial. I think we should approach it this way. Or I think we should engage the government this way. And the person might be like, fuck that. Nigga, I'm innocent. Now, here's the thing, and this is why you got to respect people like Ben Bradley, even the person who turned down or stepped off the Tory case. Because if a defendant is saying, hey, I'm down to gamble with my freedom, you're going to get paid regardless. Just tell me what I want to hear, and you're going to make some money. These are people who are so established that they're like, I don't want my name to be associated with an embarrassment. So I'm going to tell you what it's going to really be. And if you don't want me to continue, I'll take the loss. It's fine. But I don't want to be involved in embarrassment. So,
Right.
Ben Brafman looked like he had a conversation with Diddy. I don't know what that conversation was like. Looked like they mutually agreed that it should continue, and that's why he was wishing him luck. Anyway, his lawyer now is here.
But that they wanted to be there. But they also allege that they were recorded and essentially used as blackmail. Is that not true?
That's not true. That's not true.
How can you prove that when they have electronic evidence that, as they argue, over 90 cell phones, laptops, iCloud storage accounts, 30 electronic and storage devices, hard drives, thumb drives?
Yes.
They're not worried about that?
No, because if they had it, they would have put it in the indictment. That's not in the indictment.
When it comes to your client's credibility, I think people will look at what he said last fall. And it's not just his attorneys. I mean, he pays those attorneys. They're speaking on his behalf. They're the ones calling her claims baseless and ridiculous. And when you read the indictment today, they line up with what she alleged in that lawsuit last fall.
If the claim is that he had unwanted sex with her, that claim is baseless. And it will be proven to be baseless when we have a trial.
But the claim is obviously the conspiracy, the racketeering. It's much larger than just that, obviously, as you know.
It is, but the government wants it to be. But count 2, which is the sex trafficking count, relates to one person and one person alone. All of this talk of dozens of victims and 50 witnesses, if they had that, if they really had it, it would be in the indictment.
Okay. That's what that is. Okay? Let's pull this up real quickly. So this is the amended. This is the amended okay, so now this is the well, not amended. This is the appealed bond package that has been submitted today. Okay? The date reflects that you should look on your phone and see, September 18th. And essentially, it says basically a lot of the same things it says yesterday, but it changed a few things. Dear Judge Carter, obviously that's a new judge. Mr. Combs, through his counsel, submits his letter in lieu of formation motion of his release from custody on the proposed bail package below. As set forth below, the defendants updated bail package, updated meeting from yesterday's filing, addresses both risk of flight, danger to the community, and reasonably ensures the defendant's return to court. Now, I'm going to stop here and just say this. I hate to predict this. Again, I don't have a horse in the race. I'm just trying to, like, educate, as an educated person, I believe. No, just somebody with a mind. Like, I'm just making a prediction. I don't think he's going to get bail. I don't think they think he's a flight risk. Like, you know, that's the biggest problem I'm seeing that Diddy's lawyers keep doing. They're saying, hey, yo, you know, obviously, did he get arrested because his plane came to New Jersey and he was like 15 minutes away from the plane? Maybe. But there is, if they put an ankle monitor on him, he's not making it to the fucking airport, the plane taking off, and he doesn't work. Like, come on, it's just not happening. So, in reality, I don't think they think he's a flight risk, right? However, his lawyer keeps trying to prove that he's not a flight risk. That's not what the biggest reason why he won't get, in my estimation, I don't think he'll get bail today either. The reason why he won't get bail, in my estimation, is that he can't assure the government that he won't hit up witnesses and intimidate witnesses. It's the same reason why Young Thug don't get bail. The moment you hit up witnesses, and by the way, remember during the Young Thug case, I know that's the thing. It was huge, talking about, oh yeah, people getting death threats, this and third. Look at this Facebook posting, talking about, yo, Slime finna kill you. That made the judge say, well, we're not gonna have a trial if the witnesses or the victims get killed. Right? So that's the biggest issue I think they have to prove, but how could you prove it? The state, not the state, the feds are always gonna have something to counteract. Yo, Diddy will never have a phone in his hand. Well, we have proof that the last time he called somebody 54 times, he didn't do it on his phone. He did it on somebody else's phone and even said on the call, yo, I think my phone calls are tapped, that's why I'm calling you through their phone. So, like, Diddy doing that, honestly, they're gonna use, he's threatening witnesses, trying to coerce witnesses, trying to take the process of not only investigation, but also the process of the court. They're not gonna let him out. That's my personal opinion. It could be wrong, okay? And I'm just looking at it as a critical mistake because they keep saying risk of flight and danger. I think they've easily assessed. He has so much money, they could be like, hey, we'll pay, just like YoungBoy. Like, come on, you think Diddy's more of a risk to the community than a nigga who they thought was a killer? That's what they thought about YoungBoy. YoungBoy paid for a militia to be at his crib 24 hours in, like, a day. Snipers in the hill, niggas with silencers.
Right.
You have, like, I'm telling you, they really was on some shit like they really think we're back in 1776. So, dangerous to the community, I think they could prove. You could offer mad money for just all type of, like, people watching Diddy. Risk of flight, they could mediate that. Even if they don't allow him to go back to his Star Island property, they could be like, yo, he's gonna be at this one residential place in upstate New York, and it's gonna be surrounded with feds all the time. He could never leave. And he'll pay for it. So I don't think those are the things. The thing is that they're saying that Diddy has operated for 20 years, intimidating people. Basically, I'm saying, yo, I got this money if you lie for me. Calling people, that's the problem. And that's why I think his attorney, every time they're talking about it, because the first thing they keep saying, well, Diddy showed up to New York to turn himself in. Well, cool. He's not a flat rate. But we think he's hitting up witnesses. They mentioned he called, just last week, he called a band member of somebody else who sued him last week 54 times. That's the problem. Anyway, let me get to this real quick because we have to, the court hearing is going down. I'll show you what's being said. Shout out to my man Inner City Press. The last time we really had him up here that much was, wow, who was rocking with me back in 2018? Anybody was rocking with me back in 2018? That's 6 years ago. I used to have this guy page up. I remember we used to have like 20,000 people, just like how we kind of have now, watching. And it was a 6ix9ine case because 6ix9ine was a federal case and there's no video allowed in federal court. So he would be tweeting out line by line. He's doing it today. I'll give you the quickest update right now. It's going to be pretty much a long hearing, so don't think shit is just going to happen like immediately. Okay, so these are the updates so far in court. Okay, Diddy still at the defense table, black shirt, okay? It's not the NBC tan uniform. I wonder if it's the black shirt that he wore in
Probably.
Marshall T behind him, waiting on the judge. Okay, all rise. So I think the judge is here. And the government, now you have the USA Emily Johnson. Remember, this is one of the white women. Remember when the black dude, Damian, the U.S. attorney, Damian Williams, when he announced that people were going to work on the case, one of the people he mentioned heavy was Emily Johnson. We should look her up. Let's look her up, chat. You got to see what he's going against. AUSA. Assistant U.S. Attorney Emily Johnson. There we go. Oh, by the way, she just got some. She made some big news by convicting Trinitarios gang member for murdering a confidential informant. So already, you could tell she goes hard on anybody who could cause harm to a potential
witness,
not only informant but maybe a witness or a victim. So that's her thing. We think we could on this. Okay, I think this is her. Emily Johnson is the AUSA. Why is it so hard to find all these papers? God, it's great. It's light. It looks like that. Anyway, fuck. We see the white woman who wind up with homie, bro. We see what it was, right? And anyway, let's read through this real quick. So the AUSA starts out. This is a bail hearing today. So they're in court currently. It's the 30 minutes. It says the three calls were elaborate. It began in 2009. Wow, only 2009. No wonder what J-Lo came to. I guess she missed it. If they began in 2009, you know what? I don't think the free calls began in 2009. I think Cassie started dating in 2009. Let's Google that. Because, you know, we have this theory that Cassie's the only victim. When did Diddy...
You trying to say J-Lo was into it?
Oh, it started in 2009. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, though. You know, you give it a new girl. At first, it's like, yeah, just me and you, girl. You got to throw them on to yeah, let's start having sex. You done fucked her for a year. That pussy. That pussy. Like, you're used to that pussy. You got to throw a little salt in the game. Like, yo, let's do a threesome. Now, a good girl gonna be like, all right, let's do a threesome. Except Diddy gonna hit you with the...
I throw a freak off.
With my homeboy, though. Come on, let's keep it a beat. Freak off to elaborate. Started in 2009. Extended into this year. No way Diddy had a freak off this year. The freak offs were arranged with his entourage. The defendant used narcotics so the victims could continue. Ketamine, GHB. What's GHB? Is that someone else?
It's like Molly. It's like Molly. Ecstasy.
Gamma? High? What the fuck? I've never heard nobody say this.
It's like Molly. It's like ecstasy. It's like ecstasy, bro.
It's a party drug. That's a party drug?
GHB is like ecstasy.
Oh, okay. Alright. The defendant will record these free calls, at least in part, to use them as blackmail. We have email of victims saying, we're gonna, you were going to make me, I'm not gonna say it on the public record, or you're gonna leak some free calls. So Diddy was saying to victims, yo, you're gonna do A, B, C, or D, or we're gonna leak that free call shit. A different victim wrote. By the way, none of these people are listed as victims in the, none of these people are listed as victims in the indictment, but this, you know, this is supplementary information for a bail hearing, so they don't have to, they can call them a victim, but they're not listed in the indictment as a victim. Even though the judge could ask them, why, if these are victims that you have emails and shit, why are they not listed as victims in the indictment, which obviously the prosecutor could come back and say, well, they were not cooperative, oh, some of them died, whatever, like they have changed their stance, whatever. Anyway. Okay. A different victim wrote, he was going to expose me with the sex tape. I was drunk. That's just two examples, and it's so rich when the defendant's submission file today accuses victims of extortion. He's the only extorter. We see 6 guns. They were in the defendant's home. He had access to them. We're focused on the face guns in the defendant's closet. This is not about the security, but dangerousness. The security team is the same one he says would monitor it. So basically they're saying, why would we agree to him, you know, having 24/7 security? He's probably going to use the same security team that were having the illegal guns in his closet that he had access to. So it's like, are they defending him or are they arming him? That's what they're saying, right? The head of his security has now been served with a subpoena, given what we've learned about his role in the offense conduct. Oh, so they're trying to figure out who's going to be charged with this gun. Wow. Now, the hotel assault. Yesterday's defense counsel called it a fight in a relationship. But no, it's trafficking. See, that's what I'm saying about the interview. Well, they actually said that in court too, so, you know, but still it's like, you know, you're on defense. You don't want to give the defense anything to the offense, which is the prosecutors, anything to play on, but they're saying, oh yeah, yesterday they said that the defense counsel called it a fight, but it was trafficking. The defendants had a free call on March 15, 2016. By the way, they're heavily using that video. I think it's now almost abundantly clear the defense did that
Yeah,
they're
hell yeah.
using that video so heavy. They haven't referenced any other thing. Well, I mean, they referenced the Kid Cudi thing at a specific date, but like they referenced March 5th, 2016 so many times. We have evidence there was one commercial sex worker there in the room. Ooh, they got you, bro. So they're proving that Cassie was right. Remember Diddy was saying. Remember Diddy's lawyer just said we played it. Diddy's lawyer literally said
Wanted to be there. So I feel very confident in the indictment.
Here we go.
To the whole, but let me tell you what
Will that
happened.
be used as evidence in court, do you think?
100%. 100%. So what I said in court today, and I'll say it again here, is the two of them were in a hotel. It was just the two of them in a hotel room.
Ooh, see? This is what I'm saying about these fucking interviews he's doing. He says the two of them were in a hotel, just the two of them. What does the prosecutor say? We have evidence there was one commercial sex worker there in the room. This is what I'm saying, like, bro, like, why are you talking to the press? Bro, like, why you talk, like, clearly Diddy ain't tell you the truth, or clearly maybe you should no comment it until you get to court. You're going on national TV saying it was only two of them in the room. Now, like, you know when the prosecutor says, we have proof that there was a commercial sex worker
They
in
got
the room,
proof.
they probably have the commercial sex worker as a witness, right?
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, like, bro, whatever this guy is doing, y'all need like a PR person. Like, if a PR person says it, cool. The lawyer, like, you want the lawyer to be just focused on the facts. Because when the lawyer is now saying things that the government is saying opposite, and they're saying they have proof, while you, like, it looked like you're going off what Diddy told you. And then, you know what the public, us is thinking now? Well, if Diddy told you that it was just him and her in the room, and there was actually somebody else, maybe he lied to you. Maybe everything he said, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Anyway, there was one commercial sex worker in the room during the assault. She wasn't even wearing shoes. She's in danger. Defendant storms out in a towel. We have a message from the victim. I still have crazy bruising. He claims he wanted to get his clothes back. Oh, what? Oh, Cassie's cooperating. Yo, they're reacting to this interview. That's what I'm saying. Why are you doing an interview, bro? Why are you doing an interview? Cassie, look, we have a message from the victim. The only time they're talking about this, like, oh, why was Diddy chasing her? Oh, to get his clothes back. The only explanation was offered up by this attorney. Well, they kind of did offer it up in a court in a counter for the bail motion. But still, you're on CNN saying this. Now Cassie's like, what's that lawyer talking about? I still have crazy bruising. He claims he wanted to get his clothes back, but that's not what happened. She tried to escape a room with the defendant and a commercial sex worker. She fled without shoes. Immediately after the assault, the defendant sent these messages. Call me. The cops are here. I got 6 kids. Yo, please call. I'm surrounded. You gonna abandon me all alone? The defendant knew he had done something that could elicit police response. He covered up what he did. This year, after the surveillance video came out, only then did he admit it was him. Yesterday, it was claimed that his clothes was taken. But that's not what happened. Why drag the victim back down the hallway to the room? The indisputable evidence makes clear you cannot take the defendant at his word. March 5th, 2016 is far from the defendant's lone act of violence and obstruction. Freak-off activity is the core. Oh my God. Freak-off activity is the core of this case. Bro, Diddy literally going down for his dick. This is crazy. Again, when we think about Diddy, like, we know he a freaky ass nigga.
Saint Nicholas.
Like, we know. But we thought he's going to just go down for being generally, not just only for maybe some sex shit, but like, yo, he's tried to kill people. He's beaten people. They're literally saying the sexual activities in these freak-offs, or whatever happens in a freak-off, is the core of this case. So what he thought he was doing as fun, releasing stress, getting freaky. That's the core of the fucking case. So they use force, coercion, drugs. Our investigation's ongoing. Half a dozen escorts. Oh my God. Half a dozen escorts is just the tip of the iceberg of the number of escorts who have participated in these free calls. Damn, bro. Bro, that hurt my heart, bro. Not for Cassie, because I don't know that thing. Like, no disrespect, but. Bro, imagine, could you, like, if anybody got a girl, somebody they care about, or even if you don't have a girl, but you plan to have kids with a woman that you genuinely love and respect. Maybe unless you want some Adam shit, like, my nigga, like, bro, it gotta hurt to even think about. Bro, imagine just bringing a dozen sex workers to fuck a girl, my nigga. Like, bro, like, what do you think she was getting out of that? Like, what did you think? Like, if she's so much in love with you, you're in love with her, but you have this mentally deranged, twisted thing that you want other niggas to penetrate her.
What's up, Rabbit?
Bringing niggas after niggas. Half a dozen escorts is the tip of the iceberg of the number of escorts who have participated in this free call. The case is charged as sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion. The acts were non-consensual. The defense is arguing that anyone in the free call wanted to be there. That's not the law. When people are threatened with exposure and are beaten, they can't consent. That is trafficking. Victims' heads were slammed against car windows. By the way, I think, not Gene Deal. The other security mentioned this. Didn't the other Roger Bond? He talked about.
Yeah, you missed a lot.
He talked about violence in a car.
I'm on Twitch and YouTube, so.
DJ Vlad might have it.
Yeah, but you missed a lot. You gonna probably have to rewind the live.
That sound like
we probably like.
Lulu. Okay.
Told me, he said, be careful. So
Yeah. See.
I came on when she came around Leslie forced or anything else like that.
But they still didn't get to if they let Diddy if they gonna let him out yet. Yesterday they denied his bail. So he did a appeal to see if he can get a second chance at getting out today. So that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the judge to give the conclusion on if he's gonna let him out today or not.
And then she said out of nowhere, Puff just stormed into the kitchen. And she cried, and she took, from what I heard specifically from her, you know what I'm saying, he put his hands on her. She said that he was very upset at her because she wouldn't let the cleaners inside the Alpine house. Puff used to live in Alpine, New Jersey. And she was there, and she was looking out for the twins, even though Billy really bothering her. And they called over to the London hotel.
Well,
he said, man, we was about to give it to Suge. I said, what happened? And then I started seeing him coming around a lot. Definitely didn't have nothing to do with her anymore after that.
Personal chef. Diddy attacked the personal chef. Diddy was a junkie. Cassie got pulled for him. He said he seen Daddy, not Daddy. Pause. Extra pause.
I would orchestrate extensive effort. And then after I grabbed him, he was coming out after she was talking to him, was talking to Johnny Wright. And I said, yo, what are you doing, yo? And I grabbed him up off her. And then after I
Oh, no, this is one right here.
Party with Jay-Z. Fear. Her and Puff was fighting. And I broke it up again. And I put Puff in the front seat, and I put Cassie
So
in the...
this was in a car. So when we see the NUSA the NUSA says victims' heads were being slammed against car windows, something that happened in the car. It kind of sounds like the story. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Because when we went to New York, Paulie would take over.
Right. Paulie was a New York guy.
Right.
You were the out-of-town guy.
Yes.
Got it. But you did see a fight when you guys were in a Cadillac at one point.
Yes.
And you guys were driving.
Chat, am I good or not? Am I good? If I'm the GOAT, just spam GOAT emojis or the scorpion emoji. Come on, I found it right there. Listen, I've seen it, nigga. The prosecutors just mentioned it, nigga. I've seen it. I watch every interview, nigga. I don't watch TV, nigga. I watch interviews.
Yes.
Describe what happened.
Her and Puff was fighting, and I broke it up again, and I put Puff in the front seat, and I put Cassie in the back seat. And he was just sitting there, and I was like, yo, y'all can't be acting up like this, man. And then Cassie had punched him in the face, rightfully. She punched him in the face, and they started fighting, and I had the window open. And people started pulling up, oh shit, that's Diddy and Cassie in there fighting, and I'm trying to roll the window up at the same time. So, in my mind, I was happy because I actually seen her fight back. In my mind, I was happy. And then when we got to the house, I pulled both of them out. And at this time, I was able to grab Puff. And I was able to start walking him up the hill. We lived in Beverly Hills. So she's at the point where she's just terrified. Well, the routes to look in the parking lot, it wasn't there. So I went to, I forgot the jeweler name. Speak No Evil ring.
The Three Monkeys.
The Three Monkeys. He said, yeah, but that's not exactly the ring. You had to really look at it and see that it was different. And he left it at that. But that was just one of the reasons why I couldn't really talk to Cassie. The house is in, well, he...
Also, there's another one. This is actually how Diddy beat Cassie. That's actually because not. Well, here's the thing too, though, right? So it looked like, you know, Cassie, which I guess this is like, Cassie had some, you know, obviously, you know, we're not gonna analyze the trauma, but Cassie was having sex with other men, right? It's clear, right? Like, you know, maybe her thought was, well, Diddy's fucking other girls, so I can fuck other guys. She was having sex with Kid Cudi, right? She was having sex with the trainer. And I guess whenever Diddy would find out that she was having sex with other men, he would go ballistic, right?
They were still trying to push Cassie, and she had a few singles here and there.
Was security off and on, and I was taking Cassie to her shows and stuff like that. But from what I'm hearing is that she was having an affair with Kid Cudi.
Okay, so she was in the studio with Kid Cudi, and they started to actually get romantically involved. Now, from what I understand, Cassie had a phone that she would just leave around sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and Diddy went through her phone.
Yes.
And what happens next?
When he went through the phone, he called the number, and Kid Cudi picked up. And he was like, what? Yo, you know, I don't know exactly what he said. I know that he went over to his house. And Kid Cudi wasn't there. And he went over to the house. I know at that particular time, after that happened, Cassie wouldn't come around. And then all of a sudden, Cassie came around, and Diddy was upset, and he was upset with a young lady called Capricorn. So Capricorn was his personal assistant. She was the KK. If you ever hear people talk about his assistant now called KK.
Who I think might be a co-conspirator. So KK is the I think her name is Chris. Diddy KK. It's Christina Colon. It's the woman who was you know, I showed it yesterday. Christina Colon. Yeah. It looked like, you know, this is after the freako was kind of like pending. She's with him, she's holding him down the whole time. He looked stressed. You know, this looked like the woman who would probably be like, you know, you could call the bitches off my phone. You know, she robs her, you know, sometimes you do need, you know, she might not be a wifey, but she's a robber.
She was his ride or die. She rode around with him everywhere. And he really got upset with her because she had to know about Kid Cudi because she never went to the studio by herself. She always went with Cassie. And he put hands on Capricorn because of that situation.
Wow.
And Capricorn ended up leaving and suing him for it. And he paid Capricorn $450,000 to keep her mouth shut. And to this day, Capricorn has spoken about it. I even heard Suge Knight speak about it on his podcast because Capricorn was
Alright, let's keep it going. Yeah, victim says was slammed against the car windows. Here's some text. When you get fucked up, you knock me to the ground. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. I guess that's for the passion. We have witnesses who witnessed the multiple incidents. This conduct happened behind closed door in houses, hotels, and cars. Judge Tanorsky was concerned. Judge Tanorsky found that she didn't believe defense counsel can control the defense. By the way, that's important because the lawyer that we're seeing here, essentially, he's saying that, yo, Diddy turned his passport into me. I talk to him 5 times a day. He only meets with me. You have to. He's basically almost saying, I'll make sure Diddy doesn't do anything, right? And basically, the AUSA is saying the last judge didn't believe that, his lawyer could prevent some of these behaviors, right, or can control it. He says, consider the Mercedes case in the circuit, reversing a decision to release the defendant. Turn to obstruction. Witnesses have expressed extreme fear of him. They have directly contacted the victim in November 2023, constant contact with witnesses to the charged conduct after the subpoena before the government interviewed and over. 2 of these examples, there are communications between the defendant and a witness, 13 contacts. And just 13 contacts with 2 people. It says, 14 contacts between the defendant and the witness. Also reached out to a witness that had not been in contact with for several years. After the grand jury subpoena, he used intermediaries. He used intermediaries to record the conversations on another person's phone. In November 2023, he twice called a victim. Now, they don't say the victim, but they said a victim. You don't know if that's Cassie. On November 19th, we received a text from this person in response. It reads, I feel like I'm reading my own sexual trauma. 3 pages of my experience. Oh, wow. Now, granted, a judge and also the defense should say, well, if there's another victim besides victim 1, which we all think is Cassie, and they're sending text to say, I feel like I'm reading my own trauma by reading the lawsuit with Cassie, why is that person not in this in this indictment as a victim, right? And now we don't know that, but that's the question I asked. The defendant called her and gaslit her, trying to convince her that it was consensual. He repeatedly said that he was not supposed to be speaking on the phone. He tells the witness not to text him. The defendant said, if there was support, there was nothing that she could worry about afterwards, which was money. The defendant wrote the financial advisor should not make a mistake. He said the defendant wrote his financial advisor should not make a mistake and not get that rent paid. This was obstruction. You cite years, blah, blah. The defendant who fed a false narrative, that's what's going on here. AUSA says, I'll go over the cases. Judge Carter said that's not necessary. I'm familiar with those cases. Basically, they were going to go over an old case, which is U.S. versus Fontaine. The judge is well versed saying, I'm familiar with it. The AUSA said the recent civil suit last week, Dawn Richard filed a suit. She was in a band. Also, Ms. Harper issued a statement. After 128 phone contacts, we did not deal, AUSA said we did not deal with Lawrence Ray's case. Magistrate judge ordered detention even on 1 victim, but the judge found that it corroborated by documentary evidence. Anything else? How many? 3 minutes. I think this judge is kind of like, just why I'm reading it, look like they're inching towards Diddy because they're like, okay, What else? What do you got? There's like they're kind of hurrying up the AUSA, the prosecutor, to be like, what else do you have on him, right? You never know. It might be a black brother, right? You never know. By the way, in no way, shape, or form, I'm saying that this judge is biased to people who are accused of crimes, but you never know. You might just try to give a more of a listening ear because did it, you know what I mean? Like did it, you know what I mean? I'm saying that I don't know if it's a fact, right? The AUSA says, well, traveling to New York does not address danger to the community. I'm here seeking attention, but I note the bail package does not have enough conditions that focus on obstruction. I agree with that. I said that's the reason why it's going to be kept. Obstruction, not flight risk, not danger to the community. Obstruction, and it couldn't. He's been involved in other people. The defendant should be detained pending trial. The judge says defense. Combs' lawyer now stands up. It says, let me start with Miss Harper. I was called by her and her lawyer. And by the way, Miss Harper, I believe, is Danity Kane's group member, Kylena Harper, I believe. She is a band member and a group mate to Dawn Richard, who filed a lawsuit on Diddy last week, accusing a lot of things. Nothing sexual with her particularly, but basically said that she witnessed a lot of beatings, and specifically of Cassie at the time, and even also dating back to maybe when Kim Porter was around, and basically said that Diddy even threatened to kill her when she tried to speak up because she told a woman to leave Diddy, and Diddy found out that she had instructed one of his chicks to leave him, and Diddy told her, bitch, I'll kill you, right? Cool. All right, so now Diddy's lawyer is here. And by the way, his second in command for the lawyer is Tenny Garagros. I'll put you up on game on who this is. Tenny Garagros is the daughter of Mark Garagros, very popular LA attorney who is notorious. By the way, this is Chris Brown's attorney. He's gotten Chris Brown in a lot of trouble. But if you look up, Mark Garagros, he's legendary criminal defense attorney, usually to the stars. If we go down notable clients, you're going to see a bunch of people with Winona Ryder, Michael Jackson, Roger Clinton, Greg Anderson, Cameron Brown, Victor Willis. I don't know how to say these people's names. Neither of these people. C. Breezy, as I've said. Colin Kaepernick, Scottie Pippen, Jussie Smollett. Obviously, that didn't turn out too favorable, but still, yeah, very well known in LA. Okay, his daughter is the second in command on Diddy's case, which you gotta imagine that he's tapped in somehow. Like you want your daughter to win, so again, I don't know if he's certified to operate. Obviously it's a federal case, so it's a little different, but this is still New York District, even though federally, Southern District of New York. I'm pretty sure they put a lot of resources behind it. So she's the second in command. So obviously you see Agna Filio, that's Diddy's number one lawyer. The number two is Tenny Garagos. I don't know how to say the name. And by the way, both of them did file a notice of appearance, officially stating that they're the official lawyers of Diddy. So it's only two lawyers, all right? Not granted, they have firms behind them, other people, but they're the people you expect to be doing all the talking and addressing the judge and the court, okay? Cool. All right, so here's also the important part, too. Remember, this is a sexual assault case or a sex trafficking case. It always looks good when you got a white woman talking for you, okay? A man, a white woman saying, really, he's fine, he ain't doing nothing, right? Kind of counteracts the 7 white women who are the prosecutors, right? So, optically, it's a good thing. Okay, anyway, she actually speaks. She actually gets up, or not, well, she's up with Agna Filio, clearly, and she addresses the court. She says Ms. Harper feel like she was being besmirched. We didn't speak with her. At 2 a.m. on the 11th, we did speak with her at 2 a.m. on the 11th. After speaking, what would be the reason for Combs to come? So the judge jumps in. Okay, so if she contacted y'all, and y'all are his lawyers, and she's talking to y'all through her lawyers, why did she need to speak to Diddy? And that's what the lawyer is asking. No, not the lawyer, I mean the judge. Garagro says she was concerned because she was in the media. Anglophilia says, I brought in today the head of Sage Intelligence. We are proposing that Sage Intelligence personnel, all former law enforcement agency, will be monitoring the residents of. Okay, so they have now. Let's Google this. By the way, this isn't in sequence. You know, this guy has to type out these tweets, so he's trying to find the best parts to put out. So in this new bail package, which by the way we do have the bail package here, they want to do Sage Intelligence, right? Which is, you know, if you don't know, when people work in high, either like law enforcement or even if they were DAs, they work for the city, state, or feds. After a while, their retirement package is to make a business where they do private surveillance, private investigation, private practice. If they were a DA, they become a defense attorney. That's how they make the big bucks, okay? Because, you know, you get all the decorated accolades working for the prosecutors, right? Being on the side of the state, but you make the money representing the rich defendants. You get what I'm saying? So apparently there's a company, it's probably owned and ran by some former law enforcement person. They clearly say it's all former law enforcement people that are involved in this. So yeah, they're saying these are the people who are going to be protecting Diddy full time. This is an expensive gig. Like they got a website, you can click on it. No, actually no, this is some other shit. Sage Intelligence Security. Let's see this security. Can you find it? Okay. All right. So this is a multifaceted group. What you're gonna see is that you're not gonna find no prices on this shit. You know what I mean? They got their services, investigative, security, right, and digital forensics. Probably the best of the best. All law enforcement agents that have retired, they're getting the bag. They're gonna tax you. This is what it is, right? All right, bet. So they said it's all former law enforcement. They'll be monitoring the residents of Mr. Combs 24/7. They will have 1 or 2 employees there at all times. By the way, you know, I can't say much about my time visiting YB when he was on Great Big Mountain, but his security personnel was like a good 5 to 7 checkpoints, like secure, encrypted, community. Like them niggas, I was like, yo, who y'all think finna come kill young boy? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you think Dirk gonna send a dumbass nigga to get, like, them niggas couldn't even find the directions to this place. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, them niggas was acting like, you ever watch some, like, spy movies? Park over the Hills, the white Jeep Wrangler, playing the right, like, and then you hear, yeah, we have eyes on the target. The guy in the hill with the fucking sniper scope. They got all that shit going on. I was like, what the fuck is going on over here? Like, what y'all think somebody's gonna assassinate young boy? But yeah, it took that package to get him out. So he paid for that. Clearly them niggas had to shoot nobody. But, you know what I mean? I remember going up there, I'm like, yo, if I was on house arrest, like, yo boy, I'm talking the most shit, I wish y'all niggas would come here. Y'all would just die for free. Like, it's no way y'all could come there, put up on that nigga. Like, snipers in the hill, niggas with silencers, like niggas in camouflage. You got people, security checkpoints. Like, yo, everybody's on security. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm like, this shit more than like a police escort. This is lit. I love it. Anyway. Okay, cool. All right, so it said there'll be a visitor log, only pre-approved could come in. By the way, I should show this. So this is what they changed and modified. They did modify a bit of their. Hold on. Yeah. They modified. Hold on. Yeah, where is it? Here we go. So they did modify their proposed package. They're still offering $50,000. That's going to be assured by the $48 million house and the $2 million in his mama's house. And they said they paid off the $18 million to get that. Cool. Then they're still saying we're taking all the kids' passports. Cool. What's the new stuff is that they said we're going to restrict all visitors, okay, to his residence at 2-Star Island and 1 West Star Island, which is the adjoining property. They never mentioned 1 West Star Island, which, you know, you're going to see pictures of these residents as well, because this is a very more detailed thing, because they're trying to get the nigga out. And so we're going to restrict all female visitors except family or the mothers of his children. So No females could be there that he could fuck unless he's on some incest shit. He's gonna fuck his daughters or, well, actually he could fuck his mom, the mom of his kids, but they haven't never made allegations, and you know that's family, right? Technically, right? The security company that secures Mr. Combs' person properties will require the person who enters the property to sign a visitor's log, and then the company will produce those logs to pretrial services nightly. So that's what they're talking about. That company. I guess that company will be filling in that role, right? Perfect. No contact with any known grand jury witnesses. Weekly drug tests, which, you know, shit. Knowing Diddy, man, he might be using a baby's pee to fucking pass the drug test, because you know Diddy's still gonna be off that pussy. Yo, Diddy's a drug addict, bro. Nigga, if you was about to get arrested, you had the drugs in your hotel room. Diddy's a drug addict. I don't believe that he will pass this for a minute. Or, you know what he'll do? Diddy's rich. If they agree to this, you know the finesse, right? Yeah, we'll do weekly drug testing. We not taking no drugs. Here's the finesse. You go to a doctor. The doctor you've been paying millions for all these years. You get them to prescribe all the shit you need. Oh, I'm just sick. My stomach. I got IBS. My intestines. My lungs. My heart. My muscles. Yo, I need these drugs. But I'm saying, if it's prescribed. Now, obviously, ecstasy is not something that gets prescribed, but, you know, you can get your fix on some other shit. You know what I mean? You can sip lean. You know what I mean? It's not it. So, yeah, Diddy's still going to be drugged the fuck up, you know, doing this thing. Okay, then they got a couple other things. They talk about the passport. They're going to show some emails. All this is here. Yes, this is a lot of, it's 124 pages. 124 pages. Now they show the property that is worth $48 million. This is the front of it, right? And this is a appraisal of the property, right? So this is the appraisal. The appraisal is going to say that this property is worth $48 million. The company's signing off. The company's going to put up their you know, we got to look at it. Damn, the rear view. Look good, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'd rather be here than the south. This looks lit. This is the spot. Damn. Front guest. Ooh, look. Damn, it's a front guest house. Ooh, I like this. Wow. Front guest house. We got covered areas. Oh my God. Natural rooms. Ooh, these look so sexy. Look, this is a large pool. It's called a large pool. This is called a wading pool. Wow. This is like other amenities, natural rules. Ooh, look at the dock. You can park a yacht over here. You got the rear of the main house with the amenities. Look at the view. Oh my God. Star Island, so beautiful. We got a dock. Ooh, look at the jet skis. Like, come on, bro. We could really get it in on the jet skis. Comparable sale. So now the appraisal is going over other properties that have sold. This property, which is 34 Star Island, sold for $30 million. And they're just showing a few others. 34 Star Island sold for $30 million. Wow. 8 Star Island sold for $75 million. 46 Star Island sold for $38 million. 13 Star Island sold for $32 million. 1 Star Island sold for $35 million. You know, they're 2 West. He owns 2 West and 3 West. And this other place, I don't know if this is on Star Island, but Dalgate Drive, this was $41 million. So they're basically saying it makes sense that Diddy's crib is actually worth the $48 million, right? These are other places that have sold. 45 Star Island, $28 million. 30 Palm Ave, $43 million. So they're saying it makes sense. Here's the layout of the house. Look at the garage. What's this? We got dimensions of everything. Wow, we got this is pretty detailed. This is how Star Island looks. If you don't know, Star Island is a man-made. You know, this was made by like the military, right? The military made this shit, and now just all the rich niggas live there. Like, I forgot why they made it, but they made this island. Like, this is not a natural island. They made it. That's why it's a fucking perfect oval. You get what I'm saying? And then, you know, all the rich people came here and they subdivided it all over the place. And clearly, the best places to be are around here and around here. but everybody has access to the ocean, which is lit. And there's a bridge that connects. Yeah, the bridge connects here, like over here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There's some aerial views that y'all can look at right here. Yeah, look at this, man. So Diddy owns this and this. He owns the adjoining property, but there's not really something really built up there. So he owns this, which is a big chunk. So really, if he sold both, it would probably, if he sold both in continuum, remember, it's a corner. This is like almost like a corner spot, right, of the oval. And this is the first spot as you come over Bridge Road. Yeah, like Diddy could sell both of these joints for like $70, $80 million, right? Like obviously this house is 50, but just this land is gonna be 20, right? Like this land right next to it is gonna be 20. Wonder why he bought it, unless he just didn't want neighbors. You know, sometimes these rappers be like, so my neighbors was bitching about my party, so I bought the neighbor's house. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Anyway, we could go through all this stuff. You know, this is a full appraisal. You get what I'm saying? This is exactly like the company went really in depth, and they're going in with the appraisal. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the appraisal. This is certificate of the appraisal company. They're actually certified by the state of Florida. They're showing their certificates. Here's some more exhibits. It shows that he pays the mortgage. So he had the mortgage with Bank of America. He actually paid more than $18 million. The actual amount was $18.85 million, right? He said that was the amount that was paid. So salute to Diddy. Yeah. And it looked like he had gotten it, and they were originating out of Rhode Island at the time, or whatever. Yeah. Cool. All right. Now these are emails to the prosecutor, the AUSAs. Yeah, they knew who were going to be on it because they were emailing Emily Johnson, the person who's talking now. They were emailing her on April 1st. She just wasn't responding to them. Remember they said in court? They emailed again. Hey, just following up on an email from last Wednesday. If you have a few minutes, I want to touch base. Especially, I would appreciate it. This is a situation I would like to bring to your attention. Yeah, went to Emily Johnson and this other person. Here's another one on March 13th. This is before the race. Hey, good afternoon, AUSAs. I cannot find your email addresses. My I represent Sean Combs. We've never met, but I want to, talk. Okay. Now they're just communicating. We're not seeing communication back, but they're just communicating. Hey, Mr. Combs has departed from his private jet place, and here he's expected to arrive here at this. They're showing that Diddy's been telling them that everywhere he's gonna be. He'll be departing from Miami on his plane to LA. Like they're showing that he's not a flight risk. He's been telling you everywhere he's gonna be. Good morning, Mr. Combs is no longer traveling to New York this week. Mr. Combs will no longer be flying this week. He'll be flying to New York. Like this is Mr. Combs will be traveling back to Miami via charter plane. Traveling back to they're doing all of this, right? Like they're going all the way in. Via email. So this is another one as we discussed. This was May 22nd. As we discussed, Mr. Combs will be traveling from Miami to blah blah to attend his daughter's high school graduation. He'll be traveling to LA via his private plane. On this point, we write to follow up that on our phone call. So I guess they talked to them already. Where we advise that at first they're trying to sell the plane, which is owned by a single-member LLC called Love Air. Because selling the plane takes some time, we'll keep you updated to the progress of the sale. As we advised you in early 2024, the firm took possession of and has possession of his passport. Yeah, they were trying. Hey, this is follow up and blah, blah, blah. Yo, we have taken passport of several of his family members' passports. Janice Combs, his mom. Daughter, Chance Combs. Daughter, Love Combs. His twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah, have been sent in to the Department of State for renewal. When they're renewed, we will take possession of those passports and let you know when we have them. So clearly they look for renewal. All right, now this is the indictment. This isn't the indictment. This is the transcript of the first appearance. And you see, now we can see everything that was said yesterday. Good afternoon, everyone. The court is the judge. The court, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. My name is Magistrate Judge Taforsky. There's a lot more pages. We can scroll down. I don't know, do y'all care about, obviously I can't read through all this. I would never get off stream if I just read through every single thing. Do y'all want me to, I could create like a way for y'all to get these documents, like, sometimes we pay to get them, but like they're all public. They're not some private shit. Y'all want to do that? Like, you know, because maybe I don't know. I'm like a nerd. Like, so a nerd when it comes to this shit. Like, if I was watching me, I'd be like, oh shit, damn, I want to read through my damn self. So if y'all want me to, I could find a way to. Again, we just can't read through all this. But this is long. This is 124 pages. Okay. Yeah. So, actually, we won't even go. Yeah, we're going back to the tweets. You know what I'm gonna do? For all the people who are like members or like subs, I'm gonna create a link for y'all, and I'm gonna put up all these things. Like sometimes Megan Kunis does it, but I think she has like a subscription thing. You guys already subscribe to me via like Twitch, whatever. I'll find a way how to give like exclusive access to all these documents in full to the people who subscribe or who are members, whether Rumble, YouTube, or whatever. Somebody remind me to do that. Okay, cool. Let's get back to the tweets real quick. All right. There'll be a visitor log. Okay, cool. Let's hit the refresh one more time. Once again, chat, we are pretty much awaiting the decision of the bail hearing here. And look like he took a break from tweeting. Okay, so it looked like Diddy's lawyer still presenting his case. Cool. Alright, so Agnifilio is there, and he's talking. He said there'll be a visitor's log, sage intelligence, we learned that. Oh, never mind, the judge on time, and the judge says, could you get to the point? Oh my God. So Mr. Cosby was under investigation to give us his passport. It's not a defense lawyer theater. We took the passports of 5 members of his family. We have a letter of intent to sell his airplane. We had 3 buyers. We didn't work out. The judge says, can you get to the point? Oh, nah. You know, yo, in the words of Eddie Griffin, every brother ain't a brother. He might not be a brother, Diddy. Yo, Diddy not a brother. You know what I mean? Diddy probably was looking at him like, Playboy, take that. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? You see, yo, he's rushing Diddy's lawyer. Can you get to the point? It shows that he's trustworthy. He's not a defendant who says, come find me in Maxwell and Epstein. And it just says, how does that relate to danger and obstruction? I told you, obstruction gonna be the thing. If he was aware in April, why was he contacting witnesses? That's what didn't I tell y'all, chat? That's gonna be the thing. Yo, this lawyer seems prepared for, oh, we could keep him in, all right, we know he's not going to Bali. Like, bro, that's abundantly clear. But will he stop hitting up the witnesses? Agnes Freeman says, a woman contacted him. She said she got a subpoena. We told him don't speak to her. Talk to me about danger. Agnes Freeman says, people who are danger are people who are contemptuous of court. Well, Mr. Combs has never been contemptuous of court. He had a case in New York in 1999. Came to court every time. Shows up on time. The judge says, under your plan, would he have... Ooh, see, maybe the judge is fucking with him. Says, under your plan, look like he's going to consider it for real. Under your plan, would he will have employees? Would he have employees, I guess? They handle his finances. They're in California. Would he be able to leave his residence? Agnes Phillips says no. Judge says, and the security. They could be there in the house? Yes, in shifts. We put camera filming 24 hours a day. They could do spot checks. He doesn't use the internet. We can make it as secure. Yeah, you're gonna say anything. He'll never use the internet. Yeah. Yo, we'll cut the internet cord going to the house. No electricity. He'll just sit in the dark, meditating, like whatever the fuck the judge was. Like,
right,
you gotta die, right? The
Is
judge
he going,
looks like he's fucking with him.
Right.
Like,
Is he gonna eat raw chicken? Yes. Is he gonna go outside, scoop dirt up, turn it into a smoothie, and drink it as a dirt shake? Yes. They about to screw St. Nicholas. It's happening.
But what about this? Say something that made me feel good. Okay, what about this? Say something that made me feel good. As a lawyer, you gotta say anything. And it's a good. I'm like, you'll do spot checks. You'll do anything. You don't use the internet. The judge says the video is troubling. He was 47 years old.
Yeah. Well, did he go get one of them 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil and come to my house and baby oil me? Yes. Come on, bro. Shut up.
And the fool says, He realized he had a problem with drug addiction and anger. He went into rehab for a period of time. The woman in the video also went into rehab around the same time. They both went into rehab. Agnifilio says they loved each other. The written messages are heartbreaking. The sex and violence were totally separate, motivated by separate things. The way they chose to be intimate, they would bring a third person on. They chose that. Ooh, so basically saying they chose to bring another guy to fuck Cassie the right way. What does that have to do with him punching her, throwing a base at her? What's love? What's love got to do with it? Got to do with it. I don't know how this song goes. That was before my time. What's love got to do with it? Got to do with it.
Right, I'm telling you, this whole case is because of Cassie.
I'm telling you. And that was jealousy from infidelity in both directions. Mr. Combs and this other person. The violence is from that. Now, the judge on time. What's your point, gang? Oh, my God. Now, they going crazy. Still going bad on them anyways. Holy. Things you want to call right here. Still going bad on them. Alright, fuck. Cool. Alright. What does that have to do with the punching her? Alright, jealousy, blah, blah. You said a third person. Okay. Justin, you say they invited a third person. Oh, never mind. What does that have to do with punching her, blah, blah? That was jealousy, blah, blah. What's your point? And you say they invited a third person in. If that third person is a commercial sex worker and they travel across state lines, isn't that a problem?
I don't think they're going to give him bail.
Spoken with the agency.
If they do, that boy going to have more restrictions than...
They said they are not paid for sex.
Oh, man.
They feel like it. What? I don't get what that means. The former governor of New York, he did this and he was not prosecuted. Ooh. They're prosecuting Mr. Combs for it. Oh, he just threw a monkey wrench into it. Diddy's lawyer said, the former government, or I don't know his name, governor? The former governor of New York did this. He wasn't prosecuted. Why are you prosecuting Combs for it? The judge says, let's get back to the video. Oh my God, that video is going to be the video that's going to keep him in jail. The judge really is on that video. Get back to that video and the physical beating. Why isn't that relevant to the dangerousness? Agnifilio says it's not sex trafficking. Oh my God. See, that's a bad answer because it's like part of sex trafficking is he's charged with sex trafficking by force.
Yeah, it's all up to the judge.
Physical violence is force by that's violence, which is force. So sex trafficking by force. Oh my God. Alright. We are trying to see. Come on, let's get to it. Still going bad on the rain. Alright, okay. Damn. By the way, other Diddy news, we just got this news right here. I gotta run too. I got a meeting to go to. Fuck, why do people... Y'all gotta start canceling all meetings and be like, bro. But do I sound like an asshole to be like, yo, bro, I'm covering like a really big case. Fuck these meetings, bro. Or actually, it's some content shit. Some content shit. Maybe I should have told my team, like, bro, I just can't do this. Yes, Lucci's not dead. Like, who the fuck said that, bro? Like, Lucci's not dead. I told y'all that. He's not dead. Apparently, Diddy did get a win today. Apparently, his judgment, this guy who got the default judgment. Remember what I told Wack? When Wack was like, yo, you gotta pay the $100 million. Fuck out of here. Wack only saying that respectfully, and I love Wack, you know that. But Wack is saying that because the game lost the default judgment, never showed up to court, never did what he had to do. So the judge wouldn't go back on giving him an appeal for him to fight the case. So the game owes some girl $7 million because he never responded. Diddy didn't respond, but here's the thing. The court sentence isn't meant to say, oh, we're not going to do a case, let's give you free money. So Diddy's lawyers came out and said, yo, we heard about this case through the media. We never got properly served. I don't know how he convinced y'all that we got properly served. We didn't. We're now here because we hear about it through the media. Let's go to court. And the judge agreed and says, we're throwing out the judgment, right? So they threw out the judgment. So they set aside the $100 million default judgment in the Michigan sexual assault case. This dude also claimed that, clearly he's either lying or something else is ain't checking out. Because what could have helped his argument for the judge not throwing out this $100 million judgment is that he claimed that Diddy checked into the jail, because he's locked up, checked into the jail and had a meeting with him and offered him $2 million. So if you have Diddy, if you go into a jail, it's recorded. If you have Diddy meeting with you after you served him with a lawsuit, it kind of looks like he didn't know about the lawsuit, right?
Facts.
Clearly the judge disagrees. The battle is for a legal win, where his attorney, David Fink, that's another lawyer you got to be paying, convinced the judge to set aside the massive judgment because the inmate who claims that Diddy drugged him and sexually assaulted him at a 1997 Detroit party failed to prove he effectively served the lawsuit in accordance to Michigan law. Okay? Judge Anne Marie Anzalone scrapped the temporary restraining order, stopping Diddy from selling any assets to cover the damages, knowing that Diddy has a likelihood of winning the case on statute of limitations ground, because Cardello Smith claims date back to an alleged incident back in 1997. So here's the funny thing about this, right? So this case is, I don't think he's not necessarily accusing Diddy of actually sexual assaulting him, but it's around that type of sexual allegations in general. But there are some statute of limitations issues on civil trial or civil suit when it comes to that. Now we're talking about 1997. If you look at that time, it would be 27 years. Let's Google it. Michigan Civil Statute of Limitations, sexual battery. Let's just say sexual battery. Look. Current statute of limitation for filing a lawsuit in Michigan is 10 years from the date of the sexual assault. Okay, so yeah, Diddy's making this case. It's over. Yeah. So the statute of limitations on a civil suit is 10 years, and this shit happened 27 years. Diddy need that one. Okay? All right. Supposedly, do we have some news? Apparently we got some news. People are saying they all denied. Is it? Let's go to Impress City.
I think y'all right.
Working slow. Okay. Ooh, breaking. Sean Combs will remain detained after appeal. Ooh, yeah. So y'all, he got denied. Yep.
Bail denied.
All right. We'll read the last couple of replies. Let's read the last couple of replies, y'all. Okay, here we go. All right. And Philly says, even if you don't trust them, the bond package, $50 million bond on no internet, which, how could you prevent people from having internet in the freeway?
Right, for sure. No internet is crazy.
That he's not a flight risk.
No internet, no internet is crazy. Wait, if you ain't got no internet, then wait. No internet is crazy work. How would you not have no internet? Most of his appliances in his crib run off of Wi-Fi. The electronical device that y'all gonna put around his ankle needs internet. What? Camera systems. What? Then you can't. No, that's impossible.
For law enforcement, then you can prepare for his trial. Obviously, by the way, that kind of goes in Diddy's favor. You want to have to give a defendant the fairest chance. You want him to be free, because how can you prepare for your trial when you're incarcerated, only allowed to go to the law library and use resources to prepare for your case at certain times, or meet with your lawyers in certain capacity.
They're denying bail on the strength of their concern that he will be able to coerce other people like he did previously before. They're concerned that he'll be able to get a message to other people saying, "Hey, shut up. I got a check for you," basically. So that's what they really concerned. They're not concerned about him having another freak off, him buying more bottles of baby oil, him buying more bottles of lube, him buying ordering. They're not concerned about none of that. They're concerned about him being able to tamper with evidence and witnesses. That's it.
It says we knew this was coming into the brand. Okay? Agriculture says he was an actual altar boy. Judge says, how far back are you going? Agriculture says he watches a sermon every day. TD Jakes. TD. Yeah, I gotta bring TD Jakes in there. Throw some holy water at that goddamn judge.
Right, but listen to me. You're saying that's why they asked for no internet, right? Just because he ain't got no internet don't mean the people around him don't. Security, people that come to visit him, his lawyers, attorneys. You can write down what you want to say on a piece of paper, give it to somebody and have them deliver it. That don't mean nothing. But what I'm saying is, most of the appliances in people's houses need internet or Wi-Fi of some type. They want to put an ankle monitor on him. That runs off the internet. You understand what I'm saying to you?
That's what you do.
Right, the people not going to trial, you're right. But they don't want him to be able to tamper with witnesses. They don't want him to be able to get a message out to another witness or anything saying, yo, shut up and I'll pay you. You know what I'm saying? That's what they don't want.
You're good. He has done a great deal to earn court's trust. I ask you to release him. The judge says I've heard from the parties. I find the government have proven the defendant is a danger. By the way, danger here doesn't mean he's going to beat another girl up. Mostly it means that, you know, contacting and intimidating witnesses, that's a danger to the community. So
Facts. That's what I just, right, again, what I just said.
Same thing I told y'all. Obstruction, intimidating witnesses, that is exactly why they couldn't prove it. To be honest, Diddy fucked up by contacting any witnesses. If he didn't contact any witnesses, I think he would be free on bail, if you ask me.
Right, and even though the way he contacted him was harmless, it wasn't like telling him to do anything crazy, but for the fact that him calling them and discussing certain shit with them made the government feel like, oh, you trying to obstruct justice, you're trying to tamper with this witness. So they took his conversation he had with that person as if, you want to try to play Mr. Decision Maker. Okay, we got you. So they not letting him out just because of that goddamn phone call he made. And it was harmless. It wasn't nothing crazy. It was harmless. But that's not the way the government's seen it. The government's seen it as you shouldn't have called him in the first place.
This is a great bail package, but they really think that he's going to be hitting people up, bribing them, doing all type of weird shit, and trying to, like, you know...
again, run that back at what you say?
Contacting any witnesses. If he didn't contact any witnesses...
What you say?
Witnesses, that is exactly why they couldn't prove it. To be honest, Diddy fucked up by contacting any witnesses. If he didn't contact any witnesses, I think he would be free on bail, if you ask me.
Facts.
This is a great bail package, but they really think that he's going to be hitting people up, bribing them, doing all type of weird shit. And
think about it. If that wasn't on the table, Diddy would be out. He offered them $50 million, right? An ankle monitor, 24-hour surveillance, security teams of their choice, and he's paying for everything. Outside of the $50 million, he's paying for the security. He's paying for this. The government and state ain't gotta pay for nothing. He coming out of his own pockets and doing it for him. If this was anybody else, they'd have took that and ran with it. But because of them phone calls, they like, nah, bro, we can't. You know what I'm saying?
And trying to, like, you know, change the course of justice, and they're not going to have that. So, okay. I've heard from the parties upon the government have proven the defendant is a danger regarding the bail package. It is insufficient it is insufficient even on risk of flight. Oh, wow. Wow, I thought they were going to say it was going to be sufficient on risk of flight.
The risk of flight is crazy. Diddy owns a jet. And just like most people with jets, when they're not using them, they allow the people to book them. So Diddy don't know where that jet is at 9 times out of 10. He does not know where, well, 10 times out of 10. He doesn't know where that jet is at. He don't know who's booking it or none of that shit. He don't know. So because he was in New York and that jet landed in Teterboro in New Jersey, they felt like he was trying to escape because it was it was 15, 20 minutes away from where he was at. But Diddy didn't know the itinerary of that. And if you check the manifest, your name has to be on there. It has to get registered to the tail number of a plane before you get on it. There's no way around that. It's crazy. Dang, what happened?
Flight. They say Sean Combs will remain detained. Wow, Diddy's not getting out. That is crazy.
Well, better get ready. Better lock in, Diddy.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
I mean, the crazy thing is, that's going to drive Diddy crazy because that's a 54-year-old man who ain't never been behind bars for real, who ain't never did no real time like that. But that's not what's going to mess Diddy up. What's going to drive Diddy crazy is because, like I was saying yesterday, is we're hold on. Let's finish this. I'll get back into it.
That is absolutely crazy.
So y'all, so they are basically, they just changed it. First, yesterday it was they were scared to let him out because they didn't want him to coerce witnesses, and now today is
All right.
risk of
There's more
flight.
that's kind of happening afterwards.
It's crazy.
Now they're going on to the pre-trial conference, which is going to happen in 6 days. Apparently, the judge then said, let me look. They said, so let's do the initial conference. The AUSA says that the discovery will include photographs of the physical evidence, the March searches and from this week, including freak-off supplies. So the discovery will have the freak-off supplies, baby oil, and shit like that. There are a large number of electronic devices. Okay, so the conference is going to be
blurry.
them trying to communicate with how they're going to get discovery sorted. Okay, that seems to be right. I'll Google it. What does a pre-trial conference? I don't think it's a pre-trial conference mean. Yeah, pre-trial conference. Deciding judge and attorney to value was necessary. There are often several. Those are things like discovery. 100%. Those are things like discovery. Yeah, Diddy ain't going nowhere, people. He's gonna be locked up. You will be continually remanded in custody, and for the foreseeable future, I'm gonna be honest with you, just like Diddy has no one else to blame but himself. His lawyer's gonna be like, yo, we tried. The problem is you spoke to these people who are potential witnesses or potentially were in the grand jury process, and you should have never done that.
Right.
You should never have spoken to them, tried to reach out to them. You should have never talked to them on somebody else's phone.
Facts.
You should have never.
And the fact that you did it that way too.
Supplementary witnesses. You know, you should never be calling them 54 times, even if you were advising them how to deal with a public spectacle and a public windstorm. You shouldn't have done that. It makes it look like you're intimidating people. You have witnesses who have testified or signed sworn affidavits that you try to get them to switch your story or tell them a different story. after you knew they were going to testify in front of a grand jury, you tried to, you know, subvert the course of justice in a fair way. And yeah, if we put you back at Two-Star Island, a $50 million property, or even if it's a place in New York, how can we make sure you don't have access to internet? How can we make sure you don't have access to a phone?
Facts.
How can we make sure that you're not going to use your intermediaries or your workers or your security? Your security's guns allegedly was in your closet.
Facts.
So when you're saying, oh, well, I have security, well, if the security's keeping their guns in the closet that you have access to, basically they're just giving you a gun.
Right.
So again, a lot of this is on Diddy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is probably going to take like a year or two, right? We're going to see if Diddy, you know, we don't know if there's any plea. Obviously, U.S. attorneys are probably going to be questioned on, like, hey, are we going to offer this guy a plea, or are you going to?
I mean, it's the feds. It's the feds. They work off pleas. That's what they do.
Or will we think about? Was Harvey Weinstein federal? Well, let's just think about notorious people who have been charged with sex trafficking: Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein. These people were, you know, they weren't really offered like pleas. It was like, no, you're gonna, the plea, they probably were, but it was just like, the plea you're gonna have to take, you'll never get out. So you'll never take the plea. So you're gonna fight it. And you're gonna fight it, and then we're gonna throw the book at you, and then we're gonna be done with you, and that's it. So, kind of sad, but it looked like Diddy is going to be into the fight of his life, and he's not gonna be in the cozy mansion that he's normally used to be in. He's gonna be in somewhere just cold, well, not cozily, just sitting in, you know, NBC for now. I'm wondering how they're probably going to give us updates on his jail situation, because there's no way possible that they're just going to keep him at the Tombs. We don't see him going to Rikers either, right? So, like, how do you deal with him? When it came to 6ix9ine, 6ix9ine was cooperating, so they moved him to like this snitch jail, wherever that was, like unnamed, nobody knows, off the map. You can't find it, right? So, but it's Diddy. Like, you can't have Diddy Rikers. What the fuck you think Diddy could be around niggas getting stabbed up? Like, you know what I mean? Getting hit with a Glock dookie, like, yo, come on, man, like, you think you can have Diddy getting hit with a Glock dookie while he go get his honey bun? Like, that shit can't happen, bro. Like, shit go crazy out here, you know what I mean? Not the guy.
No, you can't say that. They had Weezy at right. They had Lil Wayne at right. Diddy can get, I don't know what just happened, but yeah, Diddy can get the same treatment.
Guy who had previously the key to the city of New York, so I don't know where they're going to keep him. Like, is he going to be kept in the Tombs? Now, they have said there has been high-profile people who have been, you know, they have been at the Tombs before. You know what I mean? Like, I think they showed some other high-profile.
Yeah, a couple people have been at the Tombs.
And you know, those people stayed there for as long as it took. Like, for example, some of the notorious people, clearly not Diddy's level, but this is Mike from Mike the Situation. Somebody here is Abby Lee Miller. I don't know who that is. Suge wasn't in no motherfucker. What the fuck? What is this?
Yeah, Suge wasn't at the Tombs. What are you talking about?
Well, we don't know exactly how they're going to treat the situation with him. Are they going to bring him to some private facility, and maybe that's the place they put their extra high-profile people? Is he going to be in this building? This is NBC, I believe. This is Brooklyn, NBC Brooklyn, which is Manhattan Detention Center. The Brooklyn, that's where they claim he was at before. We've heard about the conditions there. It's not that good. Manhattan.
Yeah, NBC is a motherfucker.
Complex, I mean. Brooklyn. Like, we've heard many things, like, you know, at times they said they had no water there. They had, you know, no heat. The jail people were knocking on the windows trying to alert other people, like, you know, forgot what's going on in New York, but they're like, yo, we're fucking freezing, we're starving. So, you know, yeah, inmate just died over there, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, obviously we don't expect Diddy to be in there scrapping, but fuck. From the life of luxury, 100 million up, to now being in a very small cell, or even if they bring him somewhere else, it's just not going to be cozy compared to what he's used to. So, it's kind of fucked up, brother. Kind of fucked up, man. Chat, I do got to run, though. I wish I was staying here much longer. The news is broke. I'll be back later, okay? So, expect me I want to say around 11 o'clock. Give me around 11 o'clock. I'm going to probably be back. And we'll not only kind of put a cherry on this, but we do have to get to a couple other topics, including, I know some people feel like I got off. Somebody's tweeted me, they said, finally, I got off the Drake and Kendrick shit. No, I didn't, nigga. I'm back on it tonight. You feel me? Pause. No, Diddy. We back on it tonight, chat. I'm sorry, I only came on here to stream this, and we got the hearing. I gotta run. I'm running out the door. Be back soon, 11 o'clock. Hey, if you follow me, do me this favor. Please hit the follow button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you can. Once again, theacademy.shop.
Like, subscribe to the channel, show love.
You can support by just copying something that, you know, obviously you'll get through the mail. Could be a shirt, mystery box. We got Chat Nigga hoodies. Hit others at the bottom. We still got a couple other things that didn't sell out yet. And yeah, so please support by buying some merch. And that's as much as I can ask for. Other than that, we are on the way to 1 million subs on King Academics, the YouTube channel. We are, I think we need 145,000 subs. I'm very happy that, you know, we're getting there close every day. Also, for the people on the Academy account, please hit the membership button. I'm going to start putting up these paperwork. So all of these documents that I pull up, you know, sometimes I go through it too fast, or maybe you want to look at it for your own leisure if you care. Like, I was that person before I became me. I'm going to start putting them on a place where all the subs on Twitch, all the members or subscribers on Rumble, all the members or subscribers on, or the members on YouTube could definitely see as well. All right? Chat, gotta run. Love y'all.
So basically, right, what I'm saying is, Diddy a 54-year-old man, you know. Diddy's a 54-year-old man who's never been to prison or jail or served any type of hard time or anything like that. So I'm like, well, we're human beings, so we need that human intellect, that human conversation. We need to talk to other human beings. We need to be around other human beings. We need that because we're creatures of habit. We need that. And Diddy done been free for all his times, and he done created a lot of habits. He done created a whole lot of world. You feel what I'm saying? And to be snatched away from that world, you're basically going to jail because of your pipe and your freaky mind. That's why you're going to jail. You're going to jail for your own fetishes, your own kinks. On top of, you like the, it's people, women. You feel me? But like I said yesterday, that's it's go on in the hood all the time. Motherfuckers go to the bar, get drunk, take some drugs, go home and have crazy wild sex. That's regular in the hood, right? How many in the hood know a girl or a family member that get the crap beat out? I don't want to curse too much. Get the crap beat out of them, and then end back up and right back up with the guy or a woman the next day. Toxic. How many people know? I can count on my fingers and toes how many people I know that's in abusive relationships and still with that person to this day, ain't gonna stand by him no matter what. But because it's Diddy, right? Because it's Diddy, some people hold him up here as a celebrity, and they forget that this dude. And oh wait, don't take what I'm saying the wrong way. I'm not taking the white side. I'm not on Diddy's side. I'm nowhere near cool with men putting their hand on women. I'm not with none of that. None of that. At all. Ain't that right, Shadow? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Ash. I'm not with none of that at all. Not one bit am I with any of that. Whatsoever. But that type of stuff go on in the hood all the time. On a regular. Every single day. Say what's up, Ash. Say what's up. You want to say hi? You interrupted my speech. Thank you. But anyway, they denied this bail because yesterday they denied this bail because they said, "Come on, bro, stop trying to make love to me. What are you doing? You freaky dude, bro. You must be Diddy's son. Was you around Diddy? Yo, was you around Diddy? Hello, was you around Diddy? Were you around Diddy? You trying to baby oil me down? Huh? What's wrong with you, freaky man? Shadow somewhere. Shadow! Come. Up. Come here, boy. Alright, y'all, because I got to hurry and get back to my thing. Y'all both was around Diddy. Y'all freaky. Y'all both was around Diddy. Look at y'all trying to kiss each other. Diddy got y'all. Y'all been listening to this Diddy stuff too much. Diddy got y'all. Freaky man. Freaky man. Yeah, that's you. Alright, go out because I woke y'all up. Go back to sleep. Go ahead. Go back to sleep, young boss. All right, but anyway, back to what I was saying, y'all. I just had to get interrupted by my guys. Stop trying to claim my dogs, Rabbit. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Diddy is used to being around people. He's used to being around a lot of people. He's used to telling everybody what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And he don't know how the system works. He don't know how prison works. I'm telling you. Even just jail alone. He's used to eating 5-star gourmet dishes and meals. He's used to going out when he wants, to the shower when he wants, sleeping on a comfortable bed. His back is going to be on fire laying in that bed. That back is going to be mangled. I already know they're going to have him. He's high power. He's HP. So he's going to be segregated from everybody. And that's a fact. Like, they got certain paperwork you can sign to go to general populations if you're a high power person, but one, I don't think Diddy's going to do that, and two, they're not going to allow Diddy to do that, because if the littlest thing happens to Diddy while he's in their custody, his family and him will own New York City. They will own that prison. They will own that city if anything happens to that man while he is in custody. They was better off just letting him get out on bail. Security at the jail is about to get 20 times more tighter. When Diddy gotta walk the halls, ain't nobody gonna be in the hall. When Diddy gotta go to the shower, ain't nobody's gonna be in the shower. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to go to chow with everybody else. He's going to eat his food in his cell. He better tell him that he on a kosher diet. Tell him you on kosher, Diddy. If you see this, tell him you're on kosher. If you Muslim, and you know what I'm talking about. You on kosher. That means you get a different meal than everybody else do. You know what I'm saying? Your food a little bit better than what's being served. You better get kosher. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, said people need to stop treating him like he's the president of the United States. Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but like I said yesterday, people tend to forget that if you take away the celebrity and you take away the money from Diddy and the legacy and the records and the, you know what I'm saying? He's a human being. He's a regular human being. He's a regular person just like us. He just got some money, fame, and and some legacy. That's it. That's it. But again, what Diddy's gonna have to get used to inside of jail, prison, compound, whatever you want to call it, even though jail and prison is two different things. But he's gonna have to get used to, by being in segregation for one. He's gonna have to get used to the not having human interaction, because they're not gonna let him interact with humans. He's gonna have to get used to the rules. He's gonna have to get used to the 3 to 5 minute showers. He's gonna have to get used to the only being able to come out on the yard every other day, for an hour, 45 minutes. He's gonna have to get used to a whole lot of things. It's gonna take him about give him yesterday what we said. Give Diddy about 90 days. The next time y'all see him within 90 days, he gonna be walking in the court like it's nothing. I promise you. Because his brain has to adapt. He has to he's gonna have to forget about the outside world. If you think about the outside world while you're locked up, you're fucked. You cannot think about the outside world, but that's Diddy. It's going to be kind of hard for him to forget about the outside world because he has so much going on in the outside world. He still has businesses and an empire to run while being in prison at the same time. You feel me? Hold on YouTube they said, oh well, that's the price he has to pay. He decided to mess that up. I mean, yeah, listen, like I said, we're not going to play that he decided to mess that up or the price he had to pay. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Diddy been doing bullish since the 90s. It's just, like I said, whatever you put out into the universe comes back to you. It might not be the day after you did it, the week after you did it, the month after you did it, or none of that. Everybody gets their turn to go up against karma. And I'm Muslim, and I don't believe in karma. But everybody gets their turn to suffer the consequences of their actions. Everybody. I don't care who you are, rich, famous, poor, whatever. I don't care. You might not go to jail all the time, but them consequences, you're definitely gonna face those consequences eventually. For real. Shit. You can wake up and all your lights off. You ain't got no running water. All the food in your refrigerator went bad. Somebody passed away that you really love. That's the universe punishing you that's the universe giving you your your consequences. And Diddy's consequence was Cassie. I believe it would have been Kim Porter if she ain't passed away. I believe that would have been he would have been got his consequence, but Kim passed away. Rest in peace, Kim. I feel like he would have been got his consequence. If Kim didn't pass away, he would have been got his consequence. But it wouldn't have been as severe as it is now. Because it was, you know what I'm saying? Back then. That's crazy work. They reopened their case. Yeah, I know they did. But it's gonna take a lot to deal with that case. They're gonna have to deal with one thing at a time. But again, y'all, Diddy's gonna have to do some real adapting to his new found surrounding. Do I think Diddy's gonna make it? Yeah, I think he's gonna be all right. I think Diddy gonna be fine. I think he'll be cool. He gonna be all right. Um, I don't think he's gonna hang himself, kill himself, or none of that type of crazy stuff. Is he gonna go a little bit crazy? Yes, he is. Everybody does. If you've been to prison or jail and had to sit in there for a while, yeah, them first couple weeks, couple months, even sometimes depending on the person, drives you crazy. But I think Diddy's a strong-minded person. He's strong-willed, and despite anything that they're saying um in the news, he's locked up around the same type of muck because they did the same things that he's been accused for. I'm just glad it ain't no child stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, him and his girl got into multiple fights before. Even if they do got evidence of Cassie punching on him too and being violent with him too. You know what I'm saying? They was both toxic as hell with each other. You feel me? It wasn't one sided. And from earlier in the video, if you was watching, that proved that Cassie was also violent towards this man also. So it's just the way it's being perceived because none of the stuff that Cassie did is on video. So of course it's gonna look crazy towards Diddy. Them finding drugs, guns. I'm not even gonna talk about lube and stuff like that because that's his sex life. If that's what he chooses to do with his pipe and with his sex, then so what? Who the fuck am I to judge on what he do with his sex life? Who are we to judge on what another man do with his penis or what another female do with her vagina? Who the fuck are we? Some of us out here got way more sick fetishes than them. I'm more on this case. I'm more concerned about the abuse part. I could care less about Diddy taking ecstasy. Yo, if y'all knew what half of these politicians, presidents, if y'all knew half the stuff they did behind closed doors, the stuff that Diddy is locked up for right now, y'all be like, that's nothing. So what if they could take some ecstasy? So what if he snorted a little bit of coke? So what? So what if he got guns in his house? So what? Everybody got guns. They ain't stopped making guns when he got them. So what? Like I said, it's motherfuckers in the hood that do that every single day. They just ain't caught for it. And if they did get caught for it, it wasn't broadcast all over the world to see because they not as big as Diddy. But because it's Diddy, it's blown up 10 times more. Whatever. Diddy denied bail. We'll see what happened. They're supposed to be having a conference in the next 6 days. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be giving updates on what's going on with Diddy and stuff like that. He'll be alright. He'll be able to adapt to it. He just got to get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's it. I appreciate y'all for popping out, messing with your boy, showing love like y'all always do. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think I am coming back on later, probably around like 11. Yeah, I'll be back on a little bit later, like 11 o'clock, something like that. I got a headache out of this world. I'm about to try to take a nap for a minute, pop back up. But yep, I see y'all in a minute. Y'all know the motto. Stay safe, stay blessed, and most importantly, stay out the way. I see y'all in a minute. I'm out.